Yo, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. How's it going? Where was I yesterday? God, you guys are so nosy, aren't you? Nosy Parkers. I was with Mumsy. I mentioned. I mentioned yesterday. How's Mumsy? Oh my God, dude. Annoying. Very annoying, dude. Very annoying. Because I know you miss me. It's all good. It's all good. Some great stuff today. More EDP stuff. JIDION, we got this JIDION thing to look at some more. There's some crazy stuff happening. I honestly, well, I don't think anyone can really be destroyed anymore. But I do think that Gideon is having a problem. I do think he's like having an issue at the moment, contending with the blowback from this scandal with him getting a minor to interact with EDP, or not acting strongly enough to stop that from happening, I should say. I'm about to ping Discord now. Here we go. Woo! Whoa! There we go. There we go. There we go, guys. There we go. You voted for this. Now get ready to get raped even more. I don't think there's any plans to put up tax for me. Well, the tax that I pay. I don't think there's any plans to increase it. Is that as far as I'm aware? I guess we'll have to see, won't we? We'll have to find out. Well, no, I just took the day off. And the thing is now I'm going to be streaming all the way through till Tuesday because I'm off for a few days next week. I'm off for a few days next week because I've got to go and see. Basically, my kids are going to my mumsy for a bit, and I'm going to go up there to see them. Which obviously, well, I mean, without getting into the ins and outs of it, means I can't stream because there's no internet to allow me to stream, essentially. Yes, it is back to normal. It is back to normal. Back to normal is me going away when I need to. Yes, that is back to normal, actually. That is back to normal. Thank you very much. Oh, but yeah, dude, Mumsy is like very annoying, very cynical, very kind of, very kind of like everything. Everything is Israel and the Jews. I'm not even fucking joking, man. It is absurd. Every political conversation comes back to, yeah, well, it's all Israel, isn't it? It's all the bloody Jews. It's all the bloody Jews. We'll, when I got a coffee from Costa because we were out doing stuff, and I said, "Oh, do you want anything from Costa?" And she went, "Oh, no, not Costa. It's, Israelis run it, don't they?" I was like, "What the fuck?" Yes, Mumsy is a noticer. Mumsy is a noticer. Yeah, I saw some of the woke one stuff. I saw the "it's not my job to educate you" shit, which was classic. This classic mentality that it's not my job to educate you. And then someone would go online and look up the topic, and there'd be some fucking right old slop to tell them what to think about it, I'm not getting them on stream, no. No, Goyslop is a very internet coded term, if you know what I mean. She's not really like, massively into internet culture like that. But she kept banging on about it. And at one point, I was like, I don't really care. Because I was just getting bored of hearing the same shit. And she was like, "You're wicked. You're wicked. You're wicked for saying that." I was, oh my God, dude. But yeah. And then she was doing climate change denialism. And she was saying that, yeah, we should just open up the North Seas and that a lot of it is overstated. A lot of it is overstated and a lot of it is kind of bullshit. And that actually we're just in a warming period at the moment. just loads of like really annoying things. And literally everything is about Israel. Everything comes back to fucking Israel. You know, you try and have a conversation about like the state of British politics and it's all Israel, Israel, Israel with her. Well, no, she's not teaching my kids to be racist. But she does do little things, like she'll do like a fake deaf voice. Like the boys came round to stay over last night and they were watching Dune. And you know, there's that bit with that deaf Harkonnen person. She was like doing like fucking mocking voices of a deaf person. I was like, for fuck's sake, man. Oh my god, dude. But then this morning, I'm trying to, you know, get things together. And she's just like messing around, like just saying crazy stuff and winding them up in like a funny way, like they're laughing and stuff. And I'm just like trying to focus on, you know, what I'm going to be talking about today. All I can hear in the background is, I got a bit annoyed. I got a little bit annoyed. Oh my god, dude. But it's fine now. It's fine. They're going to like go out and stuff, and you know, she's going to just entertain herself for the day.
Sadly, you're raped.
The doorbell rings. Chud squeezed with retarded whimsy saying, "It's Mumsy Wumsy. It's Mumsy Wumsy." He opens the door. Hello, Dalton Governor.
Yo, PD! Thank you for the kicks. Thank you. Thank you. It wasn't quite like that, no. It wasn't quite like that. But it was good yesterday because we basically went out into town and stuff, and I just got like a bunch of stuff. And she bought me like a bunch of stuff for the house, so, you know, that was good. She's a poor pensioner, but I squeezed what money I could out of her purse, basically. Get a few bits purchased. You know how it is when Mumsy's down. And, you know, she's not so bad at this, but I do have quite a particular view of the kind of stuff that I want. I don't just want any old shit. She's like, oh, could you get this? And it's the cheapest, most plasticky fucking thing that you've seen in your life. And I'm just like, no, I don't want that. That looks absolutely terrible. Like, can I not get something a bit more substantive? You know, rather than just the cheapest thing you can find for something. Be grateful. I am very grateful. I am very grateful. I am very grateful. It's just, you know, it gets a bit much. It gets a bit much sometimes. And then you know what mothers are like. They're just constantly like commenting on things, asking you questions.
Sadly, you're
like,
raped.
You need to teach Mumsy not to deny climate change. Instead, teach her to advocate for the total rape of Earth for man's benefit.
Well, I mean, she is kind of on that mindset because she was talking about how important it is to open the North Sea oil stuff. But yes, mothers are very kind of, you know, they're very kind of like bothersome, and it's fine, obviously, you know, they're your mum at the end of the day. But it's just that in the moment, you're just a bit like, okay, can you just like stop talking for a bit? And then she's like trying to show, dude, she was trying to put like Candace Owens on. She wanted to watch like Candace Owens. And she put on this other video, and it was a guy explaining how Charlie Kirk's microphone exploded, and it wasn't actually that he was shot. So I'm just sat there like, oh my god, like this is the kind of thing I'd probably watch on stream, and I'm having to watch it here now. No, you don't understand. You know, it was the Jews. The Jews did it. The microphone exploded. It wasn't a gunshot. And I'm just like, oh my god. Just total conspiracy slop. Yes, my mum is a fan of Candace Owens. Yes. And she thinks Israel and Jews are responsible for everything. Every conversation ends up going back there. And I don't mind Candace Owens in terms of like watching it. It's not like I'm that, you know, I'm not sat there like, oh my god, I'm just like, if I was going to watch this, I'd probably watch it on stream and monetize it, but now I've just got to sit here and watch it for free with Mumsy, you know? That's the kind of mentality I was having. Because the thing is, as well as, you know, yes, it's very cushy. It is very cushy. Don't get me wrong. But I'm sure you can understand. If there was something you do for your work and someone was like banging on about it at like 10 o'clock at night, you'd probably be a bit like, oh, you know, you'd be a bit like, can we just like, maybe just pause this for now, you know? Well, I have to preface it, Furio, because people get mad if you ever think of complaining about anything to do with this, because it is a luxury profession. There was actually an Asmongold tweet about this in response to Shroud making some comments. And he called it like a luxury profession, which I think is actually quite a good way of looking at it, to be fair. But yes, because you have a luxury profession, I mean, I agree, you shouldn't really talk about it that much. You should just fucking grin and bear it, really, and crack on. But I do think that, you know, it's, yeah. Where is it? Oh, here it is. This is the tweet from Shroud. Go. Yes, I've got a bit of disabled hate. Don't worry. I've gone live a bit earlier today so we can kind of ease in with some more chill, fun segments. And all the segments are quite fun today, to be fair. But, you know, some disability tent. Someone just linked a PIP thing, which I'm going to watch to get started. But quickly, let's just take a look at this. This is what I was talking about.
Go. Anyway, GG's. I don't know what my plan is this weekend. I don't even know if I'll be live. I don't know what I'm doing in my day-to-day. I need to lock in and figure it out. So, if it takes the weekend to do that, maybe. We'll see.
Bro, there's literally nothing wrong with this. Dude, it is honestly fucking irritating, man, that you express the most mild sentiment of something negative and all these fucking wagey cucks are like, oh no, you can't say that. You're not allowed to say that. No, you gotta just shut up and never make anything, dude. He's barely saying anything, bro. It's what's wrong with this, dude. Holy fuck, man.
But I appreciate you guys watching. That was a lot of fun. Even though we lost. Yeah. Have a good evening, everybody, or night, depending on where you are. I may or may not stream this weekend. I don't know. Depends on how I'm feeling. Depends on if I have a random itch. I'm going off of vibes. Like, if I have an itch to play a game, I'm just going to go live and play it. I don't care. It could be any game, but yeah. Go.
Can you at least understand? Can you at least understand that playing video games for 10 to 12 hours a day to a very high standard where you're scrutinized repeatedly and there's those people watching and commenting on your every move isn't quite the same as playing video games by yourself? I'm not saying this for my thing. I don't care if you fucking say whatever. What does it matter? But like, the dynamic is obviously different. The dynamic is obviously very different, isn't it? It is different. But people act like it's unreasonable to be like this. I'm going to tell my boss today that I can't show up because the vibes are off. Why don't you become self-employed? Why don't you, dude, if it's so fucking easy, why don't you fucking do it? This is the other thing that annoys you about it too. All these people going, oh, it's so easy. Where's your fucking stream, bro? Where's your fucking media business, you fucking loser? Where is it? Oh, it doesn't exist because you can't actually fucking do it, can you? Holy shit, dude. I am reasonable about this. I am very reasonable about this. I don't fucking bang on endlessly about how fucking tough streaming is, okay? Because I know people wouldn't give a fuck and it's a bit obnoxious and I get all of that, right? But you've got to be reasonable here. And I think that Shroud making like a mild comment about this and then people freaking out about it, it's way too fucking much, dude. Holy fuck, man. We can't all be streamers. Yeah, because you're not capable. Because you're not fucking capable, and that's fine. That's fine. It is a cushy job. But please be fucking reasonable. And if a guy is making the most mild comment, don't freak out about it. Holy fuck, dude. He's barely saying anything, man. This is fucking like bitter jealousy. This is like bitter jealousy of streamers is what this is. This is fucking bitter jealousy. If he was there going, oh, my life's so fucking hard. I fucking hate it. I can't hack it. It's I was banging on for ages. I'd be like, yeah, that's too much, man. That's too fucking much, dude. Like, you know, let's fucking rein it in a bit. But he made barely any comment and people are freaking out about it. It's fucking ridiculous, bro. It's way too much, man. It's way too much. What did he even say that was that bad? He was just like, oh yeah, I'm finally, you know. I'm not really feeling it at the moment. I'm not really feeling it at the moment. Oh my God, how dare you say that? Don't you know that I work my fingers to the bone? Fucking doing data entry and some... Yeah, I don't fucking care, bro. Don't fucking care. That's a fucking you... That sounds like a you problem. Sounds like a fucking you problem. This guy is making the most minor expression. I will always back up if a streamer is going fucking crazy and saying mental shit and acting like it's the hardest fucking thing in the world. You know, yes. I agree with that. Yes, I'm on your side. But not for this, man. This is totally outrageous to freak out about this. You've got to understand that this fucking meme, right? That this fucking meme of, oh, this is all you gotta fucking do, is not quite right. That's reasonable if someone is over-egging the pudding. But if someone is just like, oh, I'm not really feeling it. I mean, come on, dude. Give me a fucking break, bro. It's barely anything.
Go.
Let me listen again.
GG's. I don't know what my plan is this weekend. I don't even know if I'll be live. I don't know what I'm doing in my day-to-day. I need to lock in and figure it out. So
he's recognizing that he's failing. He's recognizing that he's fucking up. And he's, you know, in my opinion, trying to be kind of earnest with his audience, you know? He's trying to be earnest and be like, look, I know I'm not really there. I resonate with this quite a lot, to be honest. It's like, I know I'm not really there. I don't know what I'm doing in my today. And I'm trying to lock in.
If it takes the weekend to do that, maybe. We'll see. But I appreciate you guys watching. That was a lot of fun.
Appreciate you guys watching. That was a lot of fun. Literally, what is wrong with this? Literally, what is wrong with this? Dude, it's the most unfucking controversial sentiment ever, bro. People are acting like this when Assam was banging on about social batteries. They're acting like it's that level. And it's not. It's fucking not, dude. It's the most mild comment ever. I'm telling you, this is like tall poppy syndrome, bitter wage cuck jealousy that someone has actually done something for themselves and is doing well, and they make the most mild comment and they freak out about it.
Even though we lost. Yeah. Have a good evening, everybody, or night, depending on where you are. I may or may not stream this weekend. I don't know. Depends on how I'm feeling. Depends on if I have a random itch. I'm going off of vibes. Like, if I have an itch to play a game, I'm just going to go live and play it. I don't care. It could be any game, but yeah. Go. Anyway.
Yeah, it sounds to me like he's got some stuff going on outside of streaming. It sounds... That's me. Very good. It sounds like he's got something going on outside of streaming that's taken his attention. I mean, he's been not live for 3 weeks. He probably is a bit burnt out, I would say, if I had to guess. And he's trying to kind of softly express that. And that still is too much. Just put the fucking gameplay in the bag, little bro. Put the high tier, you know, mistakeless gameplay in the bag whilst we all scrutinize you and comment on you and talk about you endlessly. And then if you dare complain, we'll call you an entitled bitch, baby. Fuck off, dude. Oh my God, man. He needs to wipe the tears away with his piles of cash. Yeah. Yes, dude. Yes, he should do. I agree. I agree. I agree. Burnout for making millions playing games. Dude, that's like when people say that millionaires shouldn't be depressed. Millionaires can't have mental health problems because they got money. What an absolutely fucking brain dead take, dude. And he's not even saying that. He's trying to softly express something. I don't know the exact nature of it. I'm tired too, bro. But ask, see, look, this is like peak wagey cuck, pathetic wretch going nowhere in life jealousy. Oh, but my boss... Yeah, well, that fucking become self-employed then, bro. If you don't like having a boss, better yourself and become self-employed. And then you don't have to worry about a boss, do you? You're your own fucking boss. This fucking whining because you're a raped wage slave. Don't fucking care, bro. Oh, my boss, my boss, my boss. I used to have a fucking boss. Don't anymore. Don't have a boss anymore. You wouldn't think it looking at chat sometimes. No, Furio, you fucking pathetic wretch. You're exactly the kind of pathetic wretch I'm talking about. I'm not saying stream. I'm saying that if you have a job and you don't like the dynamic of having a boss... Why don't you better yourself and become self-employed and do something and make a business? I don't fucking know what skills you got, do I? Do something with your life that isn't just working for someone else. Holy fuck, dude. Moaning about a fucking boss. Yeah, bosses fucking suck. I know firsthand. But I don't have to ever worry about a boss anymore because obviously not everyone can be a content creator, a streamer, whatever. I'm not saying that. But I'm saying that there are ways and means that you can better yourself and move forward and do something else. That either you don't have a boss, or you have a level of employment that you've got a more, you know, favorable position, so that you're a bit less vulnerable to this dynamic of like, and you can, you know, there's some people that are in decent jobs that can say to their boss, listen, I got some shit going on, and they'll be reasonable as long as you're putting enough into the pot. Do you know what I mean by that? And the thing is, as well, is being self-employed requires a lot of self-motivation too. It's not like, you know, just because you've got a boss, it's fucking, you know, there's only so much give that you have. And obviously Shroud is in a different position. He probably can take a bit of time off, but that's going to be to a certain level. I don't think he could just stop streaming forever and retire now. He probably is going to need to stream at some point. But, you know, that's not even the example I'm really thinking of. I'm thinking of, you know, you not having, and the reality is, the reason that people have got a boss and they complain about it is because they're fucking, you know, motivationless shitters that are going nowhere in life, and they need a manager to tell them to keep fucking going. I used to work with people like that all the fucking time. You know, there are people who are like within the realms of a business that were very self-motivated and they just crack on and get things done, right? But then there's other people that need to be badgered by the boss to do fucking anything, and it's always a fucking eye roll and a moan, and that's exactly the kind of person this is. This is someone that could never make it without a boss, you know? With this thinking, who will hire you to replace your soft, silky hands? They'll all be self-employed streamers and entrepreneurs. Okay, you understand. See, this is that your mentality is so raped, bro. This is why you're going nowhere fast. You can be self-employed and still do the same work that you're doing now, but you do it self-employed, bro. You know, and that could be white-collar work, blue-collar work. There's plumbers that are self-employed. You know, I know people that used to work for a plumbing firm, and then they went out on their own and set up their own business, but they're still plumbing because they need to do the fucking labor in order to get fucking paid. And then maybe when they're 50, 60, they're in a position where they can take a step back and there's other people that do the hands-on stuff and they just run the business until they retire. And then you have a nice little business that you can obviously sell on and see you through your retirement. Oh shit, hang on. No! The delivery's coming. I'll have to continue this lecture on how you're all worthless cunts in just a minute, okay? Okay, dude?
Bin Face, who I
Watch this
interviewed
quickly,
at
watch this,
Makerfield
watch
a few
this.
weeks back.
Give me 1 minute,
You
give
got
me 1 minute.
95 votes at Makerfield.
Give me 1 minute,
I think you're going to get
1 minute.
more here, but I don't think you're going to win.
Oh, well, thank you for saying that, John. Firstly, yes, it's lovely to see you again. We meet again at last. Last time, you didn't even know who I was. Have you worked it out this time? There's 34 names on the ballot. Have you figured out who I am?
Yeah, I have now, yes.
Excellent. Well, then we're on a good start. There we go.
Good start, yes.
And you mentioned Makerfield. I got 0.2% in that election. And let's just say, speculate that I managed to keep my deposit, which would be a nice start, 5%. I make that a 2,500% swing to Bin Face in 2 months. I think that's the greatest swing in British political history, but you probably know better than me.
I'm not sure about that. Anyway, why did you stand here in Clacton?
That's where the election was, John.
Right, but why? I mean, is it a publicity?
Can't you see?
Yes, I can see that. Is it a publicity stunt, or did you really hope to win?
No, that's a bit mean. No, it's about taking part in celebrating British democracy, like in our chat in Makerfield. Isn't it wonderful that if you wanted to, you could stand in election? Any of these lovely photographers, anybody in Britain can stand for election, no matter what you believe or what you look like. It's brilliant. So I want to do that with my fully costed manifesto, and I'm on the up. I mean, who was I to think in Makerfield that I would suddenly become His Majesty's official opposition? But here we are.
You mentioned the manifesto. I read your manifesto. It looks a bit more serious than the last time. Tell us, what are the highlights of your manifesto here?
Yes, oh, well, thank you for reading it, John. That's fantastic. that makes a change.
Well, I had to after you ticked me off for not knowing enough about you.
Well, I think I was a fair ticking off, to be honest, don't you? But, I make a series of fully costed important policies, from capping bus fares at £1.99 and 99 flakes at 99p, to retaining my pledge to build at least one affordable house, But tallying that with Clacton-specific measures...
Sorry about I had to rush off to get this fucking delivery, man. Oh my god. I ordered a sofa and it's not going to be here for fucking weeks. So, I've got a temporary solution.
I'm having a really rough day today. About to quit my job during one of the worst times to find a job. So please don't be daft today, Chief.
Hey, thank you. Thank you. Thank you for the tip. Thank you. Well, I'm sorry to hear that if that's not a joke. It might be. I don't know. I don't know if it's a joke or not.
Sadly, you're raped.
Oh. Anyway, guys, listen, okay? I very much do believe that streamers... Sorry, I do want to watch this, actually, but I'm just... I got fucking sidelined with this. Thank you for the kicks. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. He's a multi... See, this is the thing, dude. It is, I'm telling you, this is bitter cuck rage. There's some wage he's got to sit there as some fucking millionaire streamer is fucking mildly saying something about it. Oh my god, dude. I'm telling you that's what this is. And I wouldn't say that if the guy was legitimately off the chain with what he was saying. If he was banging on endlessly about how hard his fucking job is, I'd be like, okay, shut up, bro. Just fucking put the video game footage in the bag. But that's not what this is, man. It's to his chat saying, you know, hey guys, I got a lot going on. You know, whatever. Well, the thing is that it's the, you know, what is it? Like money, well, there's a saying about it, isn't there? Money buys you happiness, that sort of mentality, you know? But it obviously doesn't really, does it? It sorts out a lot of problems that for many people are distressed, you know, depressed or whatever, but it doesn't necessarily solve all of your issues. It does. Okay, what if your wife dies? What if your fucking wife dies? Dude, what do you mean, bro? What if you have a wife and she dies? Or then all of a sudden, oh, well, you know, I was a bit sad about my wife dying, and then I went and bought a new fucking Ferrari, so I didn't care anymore. Fucking hell, dude. This is Chud right now.
You know, I sit up here in my tower and watch everyone struggle and be poor. It's so entertaining. I love watching poor people. They struggle. Oh, I just need popcorn. I could sit here and watch them struggle all day. So up here in my tower, because I'm so rich, I watch all the poor people. Hi. And that's it. And then when I'm ready to go to sleep, I press the button.
Dude, that is great, man. This guy's making a lot of sense right now. No, dude, come on. I don't fucking look down on poor people, bro. Okay? I look down on poor people that rather than look at this as like a, oh shit, like, you know, to me, the mentality here would be, oh shit, this guy's got some problems and he can just take some time off. That's cool. I wonder how I can achieve that. But instead, you get these pathetic, jealous cucks that are like, oh, my boss, my boss, my boss, my boss. Fucking do something about it then, dude. Do something about it. Do something about it if you don't fucking like, you know, if you don't like having a shit boss, make some moves. Do something, bro. Especially in light of the fact that it's some fucking streamer that's just going, hey, I got, you know, a little bit on at the moment. If I feel like streaming, I will, but I might not. That's all he's saying. Rape your boss. Rape your boss. Yes, exactly. Rape your boss.
Sadly, you're raped.
If your secret Vietnamese takeout bride ever kicks the bucket, even if you are 80, you better fire up stream open casket. TT is on.
Thank you. I don't have a secret Vietnamese bride. Takeout bride. Thank you for the kicks, though. Thank you. Thank you. Probably for the best. Only time I ever see this guy is when he makes absolute shit takes and it goes viral for how retarded he sounds. I personally haven't seen that. I thought this guy just played games. Is there like an element of political thing here that people don't like him because of his politics? Is he some right winger or something? I don't fucking know what's going on with Shroud. He only streams when companies pay him to play their games. Oh, he's woke. Oh, he's woke, is he? So people could be mad for that reason, possibly. I mean, you know, what does it fucking matter what his politics are? It's irrelevant. Woke or not woke. you know, he's not saying anything here that's particularly controversial.
Sadly, you're raped.
Yo, thank you for the kicks. Thank you. Thank you. See, look, this is like the poroid mindset, by the way. Right? This is the poroid, retard, bitter jealousy mindset. They think, oh, just take a vacation. Just take a fucking vacation. You know? Like, one, the idea that rich people just take vacations all the fucking time, right? When vacations cost money, and often it's like an expensive thing to do, and it's something you know, save up for a particular time or something like that. And two, the other thing too, is the idea that if you were rich, you would take vacations. And that's the poroid mindset in mentality there, is they would get money, go on a load of vacations, piss it all up the wall and go, where's all my money gone? Well, you spent it all on fucking vacations, bro. You spent it all on vacations. That's where your fucking money went. Imagine being one of the richest streamers out there with a giant dedicated audience. You literally make money from just playing video games. And you're telling me you can't find something else to do outside of his streams. Is that what it was? It sounded to me like he had some sort of IRL things going on or something. Maybe I misunderstood it. Midlife crisis starting to hit. Dude, how old is he? Also, does he even have, like, people around him, like a family and stuff like that? Maybe he's just lonely. Maybe he's just a lonely guy. Bro said the vibes are off and if I feel the itch. No, he mentioned IRL stuff at the start. Like he said, I don't know what's going on with my IRL stuff. I need to lock in. My interpretation is that there's stuff going on that's distracting. That's inhibiting him from, you know, locking in on streaming, no? I don't know. I could be wrong. I could be wrong. I don't know exactly what's going on. But what I do know with certainty... Hey, thank you.
I don't look down on the pause. Anyway, here's the daily seggy on how the less fortunate need to have my boots
Sadly,
to their
you're
necks and the
raped.
disabled need to be turned into flesh cubes. Brilliant stuff, so stay around for that.
Thank you for the subs. I mean, obviously some of that is being entertaining, right? Like, I'm not, you know, I do have views about things that are more moderate. I'm not actually like, we should liquidate the poor. Thank you. Okay, Cat Rizzo, thank you for the 5 gifted as well. That's super generous. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate that. But I hate, the thing that really bothers me is the mindset stuff. You know, this is a silly little meme, but it's indicative of a certain mindset, like a hopeless mindset. It's similar to when, you know, lefties have got this kind of poverty obsession. Like, you know, there was always this thing where they'd act like the poor people in America are all like destitute, digging for scraps in a bin, which just isn't correct and isn't true. You know, absolute destitute poverty is, you know, comparatively exceptionally rare in the West compared to like other countries. And also, you know, there are measures with which to at least try and help people. And obviously they're not perfect. And America particularly is quite stingy in some of the benefits that they offer and some of the, you know, whatever. But yeah, there's always this kind of obsession with this poverty mindset, or, you know, suggesting that poverty is more kind of widespread than it truly is. And yeah, people have got problems, obviously, but it's a very kind of like, it's like, I hate the defeatist mindset. Chud be like, how are you starving? Just buy the toxic frozen burrito. Okay, dude. Who is this is? I mean, I know you're joking, man, but people literally try to act like there's people that are starving to death in the West. You know, like in America, there's all these people that are wasting away. Like, you know, they act like it's like, I don't know, like a fucking post-apocalypse, and there's people that are just wasting away to bones. Realistically, the problem is the opposite. The problem is the absolute fucking goy slop that gets pumped out into American food. Yeah, eat the Nutriloaf. Eat the Nutriloaf. But actually, my views are not that fucking crazy when it comes. I think cash benefits are best. I think cash benefits outpace, you know, what do you call it, EBT and stuff like that. I think EBT is a total fucking corporate-led fucking crazy thing where all these companies push the government to allow their products to be included, and then you got poor people buying full sugar Coca-Cola on government dime. That seems fucking like crazy to me. Because the idea is it's supposed to be, because if you're going to run a program like that, the idea is you have it focused on things that people actually need and are healthy. But instead, Coca-Cola go, actually, we want all of our drinks to be included. And the government are like, yeah, okay, sure, why not? So it just seems foolish that you don't just give, you know, a cash benefit. And people, obviously some people make bad decisions, but most people that are struggling do know what to do. Maybe there's some education needed somewhere, but they do, you know, this idea they go and spend it all on facts and booze. I mean, there's a small subset of people that do that, but people, you know, the families and shit, they do what they need to do to feed their families, you know. Oklahoma just changed EBT laws so that sweet shit mostly can't be bought on EBT. Well, I think that within reason, like a pack of cookies for the kids is fine, but it's the extent of it and, you know, the fact that people are loading up. I mean, when I was in America previously, I was, you know, a friend of a friend was on EBT and they didn't really need it. They just got it because if they met some certain level, and they went to a supermarket and just got like loads of fucking soft drinks and shit like that. And it's like, fucking hell, they No cookies for poor kids. Yeah, snatch the cookies away. Snatch the cookies away now. Okay, on this topic, what is this that you linked me? What is this rage bait that you've linked me here?
Hey
What is
everyone,
this?
today the government released another update about the TIMS review, which is where they're going to look at making changes to PIP in the near future. This time, they actually want to speak to us. As you might remember, when the Labour government first came into power, they wanted to make changes which were just ridiculous. So I worked on a petition and over 70,000 of you signed it. We would have hit 100,000 signatures.
By the way, those changes were all completely reasonable and made perfect sense in the context of the amount of money. Because I didn't know much about this PIP stuff, you know, like a year ago. I just know that Keir Starmer's thing got defeated and he was like, look, it looked like he was attacking wheelchair people because they wheeled them out in front of Westminster. But, is this you? Amazon has a 24-count case of burritos for $67.97. That's $2.83 a burrito, just saying. I mean, that probably is not very nice. And the thing is, it will look nothing like the packet either. It will look nothing like the packet. I mean, the best thing to do would be to buy the ingredients and do meal prep on a Sunday. And then you can freeze your own burritos. If you wanted to replicate this. That's $10. Yeah, pre-packed pastry and stuff. They put all shit in it, don't they, to make it like last forever. Make it last for a whole year. But no, you just get actual. I mean, I don't agree with this, no. Also, the other thing as well that I don't agree with is people are like, you know, oh, just buy rice and beans. And it's like, hey, dude, like, can we set our sights a bit higher than someone just subsisting on rice and beans? You know, I'm sure there's better advice out there than just go buy like a big sack of rice and a big sack of beans. It's about, you know, using your using what you've got intelligently rather than just, I'm going to go and buy a big sack of rice and a big sack of beans. No, that's not my opinion at all. My opinion is that people have got high discretionary spending whilst complaining about being broke. Some people, not everyone, but you know, like there's ways and means that you can reduce discretionary spending to your benefit. That's my whole take on it. But obviously, there's going to be people out there who are genuinely fucked. So like, if you're a single mum and you've got 3 kids to look after, you've got like an infant and whatever, like it's probably going to be difficult. Yeah, it's going to be challenging, and there isn't likely much cuts you can make because discretionary spending shouldn't be 0 for anyone. Like that's too extreme. There's always going to be little bits and pieces, so you don't live a completely fucking miserable life. But it's about taking it to an extreme. And as much as I think Caleb's a sort of politically cucked guy now, or whatever, you know, I don't really like him as much as I used to watching him, and it's all very hyperbolized now. And it was never really about this, but I think just showing sometimes, look, this is how much you're spending on these, you know, it's like to an extreme. A lot of your budget is being taken up by. It's like just have a budget. It's like just have a budget. Like that's it. That's the take. You know, budget out your money, and make sure that you're not living beyond your means, or you're not making repeated, you know, poor financial decisions. Just have a budget. Yeah, Caleb's advice: have a budget and do gay OnlyFans. Yes, yes. Exactly. Freeze your burritos on a Sunday. Yes. I know plenty of people that have done it. It's not, I mean, you're acting like that's a crazy take. Yeah, people meal prep and they take their lunch to work. Yes, that's perfectly normal for people to do. And then they maybe have, you know, a budget. Like you set aside, I don't know, whatever you think is a reasonable, £100, £200, whatever you think. Bi-weekly, weekly, and then that is your fund for if you can't really feel bothered to cook, fair enough, get a takeout. You fancy a coffee one day, buy a coffee, and then once the money's gone, that's it, and you don't replenish it till the next week. And that way it really helps to control what you're spending. Like it really helps to control your discretionary spending. But some people just have one pot of money and they just spend and don't think about it, which if you're like a millionaire, what does it fucking matter? It's your, doesn't, you know, but it's when you are not a millionaire, you work in a job, you're getting paid, you know, £2,000, £3,000 a month, cleared cash in your account, where you need to be more sensible with what you're spending, you know? Yeah, I do think that these companies have got a price to pay. I mean, there's other dynamics as well, which are fucked from the company side too. Like the DoorDash burrito on Klarna. That to me is like evil. That is evil shit. And it's so fucked that ever became a thing. You know? It is pure evil to offer someone an option to split the cost of a burrito in a way that is like, oh, it's just like paying for it. It's ridiculous. It's like just mind-boggling to me. But people will do it because they think, oh, I'd, you know, do that. And then before you know it, that becomes a habit, you know? Also, I'd never used Klarna before. But I think, I imagine there's probably, dude, I guarantee you there's some sort of psychological trick thing that they do as well, right? Where you click on it and the way it pops up and the way it's like, oh, you're approved. I bet it's all like psychological prompts and they've looked into the right way to have this color. Like, for example, I used to know a guy that used to deal with this sort of marketing stuff, right? And it's stuff like the color of a button to make a purchase on a website is something that they, you know, think about. They don't just put it any old color. And having it a certain color can increase sales because of the way that color interacts with someone's brain, you know? It only rapes you if you're stupid and don't make your payments on time. Yeah, yes, you should obviously make your payments, but the point is it kind of dangles something in front of someone and it gets them into a debt that they otherwise wouldn't get into because if that wasn't available and they couldn't afford it, they just, because the thing is, there's no real financial upside to, because for example, if you've got an expensive purchase, if you're buying a TV or a sofa, it can be worthwhile to put that on credit and then pay that down on a 0%, because then you keep the money in your bank account and you benefit from the interest over that period of time, right? But what is the benefit? You get like 5 pence in interest in the 3 months that you're paying it off, if that, on 30 or 40 quid for a fucking burrito. Like, there's no financial upside to doing it. It is purely, you know, a means of prompting completely unnecessary and possibly unaffordable discretionary spending on someone. There's no upside to doing it. There's no benefit to doing it, you know?
But then Labour retracted their proposal. Then they said about doing the Tim's review. Recently,
Dude, oh look, Todd's being my accountant again. Well, if you must know, Todd, we've been chilling and talking about this for 45 minutes, and the bars are looking fine. We're halfway through 2 of them on fucking, 45 minutes. I think we're fine. Don't worry about it, mate. We don't listen. It's 10:30, bro. Just chill, okay? I'll get to all the stuff. Just relax, bro. Chud, why aren't you immediately talking about the fucking thing? Just relax, dude. We got fucking ages today. We'll get to it all. It's fine. Thank you, though. My accountant is, got everything in hand, but I appreciate your input nonetheless.
They asked for feedback on PIP, and hundreds of you joined in on that, and we submitted feedback as a community. This is the next stage of it. For those of you that don't know me, my name's Charlie, and I've worked with over 250 people on their PIP claims. Of those that updated me, over 80% of them win, and I received PIP myself.
You know what's going on here, don't you? She's just helping. She's not just fucking helping, bro. Well, she is helping, and what I mean is she's not just like, okay, if you've got this thing, here's how you do it earnestly. She's prompting and helping people to make claims in such a way that they're more likely to go through. Bear in mind, 39% of claims are for mental health disorders. So, doubled since 2019. So all of a sudden, there's double the amount of people that need these payments. 100,000 people claiming for ADHD as their primary condition. Also, oh, dude. I spoke to a friend of mine in the past couple of days who's on PIP themselves. And, I mean, they're totally fine. But they know people who are also on PIP, right? And there was someone who, without going into the detail, I don't know this person. They're like a friend of a friend of a friend of a friend type thing. But they went to prison for a serious crime. And then they came out and they've ended up on PIP. So they, it's not just that they're a sort of neutral drain on society. They've actively taken action to harm society and they're just getting fucking money. It's fucking crazy. Absolutely fucking mind-blowing to me. It's like mind-boggling. The sheer brass neck of some people, Anyway.
What they're doing right now is they've opened up this thing called, fuck, I can't remember the name of it. I'm just going to have to read it. Wait, I've got a piece of paper in front of me.
You voted for this. Well, the thing is, right, I was sort of biased in the wrong direction with the Conservatives, and I hadn't really thought much or looked at any of this stuff, right? And I assumed that the Conservatives were the nasty party. And they were like, because I remember, back in the day, all the austerity measures and universal credit coming in and people getting restricted and horror stories of people on having a heart attack and being declined, payments because they'd missed a single meeting because they'd been in hospital having a fucking stent put in, all that stuff. That was kind of in my mind. But I didn't know that there'd been these little subtle things that had happened over the years that have just led it to get opened up. Because the Conservatives put it in place in such a way, in order to save money, they didn't require full medical records being requested. And then that's led to this series of events that now people can claim for a disability benefit if they've got mental health issues. I didn't know the Conservatives were fucking doing that, bro. And I don't know if Labour, Keir Starmer did have a plan, which was good, but it got shouted down by the lefties. But there was a plan to amend it all. So Labour actually tried to change it, but it was the left-wing of Labour that fucked it all up, There will always be people who take something because they can, not because they need it. Basic human nature. Yes, Scrimpin, exactly. And that's the mentality with some of these benefits. When I was growing up, benefits were always a, you know, oh, you want benefits? Oh, I don't know about that. And I think there's been some level of positive step towards, well, if you need it, you should claim it. And I think that's the best place to have it, right? If you need it, claim it, fair enough. But then it's kind of overcorrected, I feel like, to, well, you're entitled to it, so you should claim it. I don't agree with that necessarily. Just because you're entitled to a government benefit, like if you're, you know, as doing fine, why claim it? And the problem with PIP, it's not means tested. So yeah, obviously you can get it regardless of what your other financial circumstances are. Yeah, I didn't know about this. And then when I looked into it, off the Motability thing, I came to realize that it's a total fucking insane. It's like a scandal. It's like scandalous what is happening with it, you know? And Labour are trying to get it under control, but it's difficult because they just wheel out a wheelchair person and go, look at him. And he goes, it's like the fucking meme of that guy, Brendan, whatever his name is, in that Fat movie. You know, disabled people don't even try and justify their benefit use anymore. They just look at you like this. And, you know, it's crazy. Because bear in mind, PIP is for disability conditions to make your life as it would be if you didn't have the disability, essentially, or make it alleviate it financially. And the question I got is, if you've got ADHD, why do you need mobility money? Why do you need money for mobility? What mobility concerns do you have with depression that you need money from the government to fix that?
What is it? It's called? They've opened up registration for what they're calling Shaping Recommendations Workshops. Right, so what does that mean? Basically, they want chronically ill, disabled people like us to actually join these meetings and discuss their proposals. Now, I didn't get this invite because I'm anyone special. It's not because I'm on YouTube.
Oh, another thing I found out as well, by the way, guys. Okay. Here's another crazy thing. I don't know how widespread this is, and I don't know how plausible this is. But a person that I know had a third party conduct the entire process on their behalf. Now, I don't know how prevalent this is, and I don't know anything more. It's literal anecdote, so don't take that more broadly than that. But that was quite shocking to me. The fact that a third party can do it on your behalf. Because how the fuck are you, you know? And I don't know what that means exactly, if there was some level of interaction they had, but certainly filling out the form. They didn't fill out the form themselves, for example. And apparently, if you have depression in the UK, the government thinks you can buy happiness.
Or anything like that. It's just that I'm literally registered so that I get updates when anything happens to PIP. I just get an email update, which I'll show you in a second. I'll show you the email that came through. So I've registered my interest, and I've registered myself as an individual who is chronically ill, disabled, that receives PIP, because that I think is more important than being a PIP specialist. I think it's more important on, look, I am dependent on this funding. It is positively life-changing. So that's how I...
How is she disabled? She's chronic. She's going to be one of these chronically ill freaks, isn't she? She's going to be one of the, oh, I've got fibromyalgia type mentalities.
Registered myself. Let me just show you the email that I got, because it came today. This is the email. You can see it came through 6 hours ago. And it's basically that there were like 3 emails that came through. So then when you click on that, it takes you to this bit. If you don't have this email, you can literally search. Hang on, we'll do that in a second. Then I did the About You. So I wanted to register my interest, so you have to fill out this form. And it's really basic, like name, details. It goes into... Sorry if I'm scrolling a bit too fast. This is all basic.
Yeah, sorry. Question. You're well enough to run a YouTube channel, okay? You're well enough to record 17-minute videos and do this. What's that about? What's going on there? Do you know what? That makes me sort of think, what else are you doing here? Do you have any other work that you do? Is this enough to sustain you? PIP is not means tested, so it doesn't really matter in some respects. But it does make you question how disabled someone truly is if they're able to do this sort of thing. Just fire up a stream instead. Well, no, there's plenty of work you can do. You understand the computers are multifaceted, and there's not just one. You don't just stream on a computer. There's a bunch of different labor that you can do using a computer working from home. Christian can make YouTube videos. Well, yeah, but Christian's in America, so they're not on PIP. They're probably absolutely fucking raped, one would have thought. But I question how disabled someone is if they're able to do... Really, this links into my position that I don't want disabled people to ever be happy. Also, the other... Hang on a minute, wait, look, she's gone for a fucking walk. Hang on a sec. She's gone for a bloody walk. What's going on there? Uh-oh. And then you got the chronic illness fucking shit as well. You know, which I no longer associate with this actual usage. And the moment someone utters it, I think, fibrofaker, fibrofaker, fibrofaker.
Stuff. This bit was interesting. So for me, I put physical impairment, which I wasn't sure, but like I'm physically massively limited. A long-term health condition, fluctuating condition.
Ah, there it is. Yes, I got this impairment, but it's fluctuating. Very interesting. Almost like it's very convenient for you that you could be as disabled as you need to be at a given time. I love that. That's my favorite one. There's got to be like a checklist, right? There's got to be some checklist for this, you know. Chronically ill, physical impairment, fluctuating condition, long-term health condition. You know, there's got to be a checklist for malingerer suspicion. Let's put it like that. Ligma's a serious condition. What's ligma? Oh my God, what's ligma? What's ligma?
Energy limiting fatigue condition is what I put for me. And that, yes, I have been directly engaged in the Tim's review because I've put in that feedback, the survey. And then I don't think it will let me do the next page. But the next page was pretty basic as well. I think that was the next.
Chronic fatigue.
Yes, I have been directly engaged in the Tim's review because I've put in that.
Yeah, yes, I'm disabled, but all my ailments are easily faked or non-visible. Yeah, exactly, dude. Or the visible ones fluctuate. So one day you might see me on a walking stick. The next day you might see me doing a bit of ballet. But it's because it's fluctuating.
Feedback, the survey. And then I don't think it will let me do the next page. But the next page was pretty basic as well. I think that was the next page is where it's like, are you an organisation or do you actually receive PIP? Do you help someone that gets PIP? Something like that. Look, that's the deadline. We've only got until the 21st of August. Let me just do a search. So if you don't get the email, let's put this into the search bar. So the first thing that comes up, yep, links straight to it, okay?
Dude. Is she getting all of her pathetic, wretched followers to get in the mix so they can give all their shit ideas about they should make it easier because it's torturous to claim to get free money from the government?
Overview. Right, this bit is interesting. So,
dude, she's even got the look of a fibro faker. She's even got that kind of look about her, you know? Like she's got that energy. She's got that fucking energy about her. I need to know more about this person. I swear there's a whole thing, there's a whole industry here. There's a whole thing of this kind of PIP, how to take advantage of PIP most easily thing, you know?
What they're saying is they're expecting more people to apply for this than they have places. So I'm doing an online one because I'm not well enough to go, I can't go somewhere and do a meeting. I can't.
Oh, really? Is this AI then? What's this? Is this fucking AI, is it? You outside having a fucking walk? Fuck off, dude. Fuck off, you fucking lying bitch. Unlock the secret steps for winning your PIP claim. Step-by-step guide. Can't do a meeting. Can't do a meeting. Yeah, dude, 450k. All the malingerers were like,
Just can't do it. So I've applied for an online, and they also ask you do your first choice, second choice. It says, like, obviously if more people apply, then they'll randomly select.
Dude, it's a bit like that Disney thing, I think, where the government is going to have to put in place stuff to stop these fakers and these bullshit artists and the whatever. And it is probably just going to end up getting harder, which is unfortunate. I think that sucks. But harder for people who have actually got a legitimate thing. Who was it? Someone posted about this. And they said about how, I think it was in Spain, I think, where they were very generous with their benefits and they became too generous. And then they had to roll it back, and it was like a massive shock to people because all of a sudden these juicy fucking government payouts got cut or restricted. And it was like a rude awakening, basically. And I do think that's probably what we're going to see here. I think people are expecting the Tim's review to come out and be like, you know, oh, you know, disabled people have got it so tough, when every single thing points to it being too generous, too easy to claim, and not restrictive enough on conditions, you know? I think realistically, they need to just do it all again. They need to chuck out PIP. They need to restructure it again. And they need to, you know, put in place some new scheme that means that you can't easily claim for like mental health conditions unless you're like, you know, there's obviously an extreme case you could point to go, well, this person is totally fucking raped. Sure. But these fucking ADHD claimants and all the depression stuff, you know, a lot of that has got to be just fucking stripped out. It's, you know, preposterous. But it's all got to be done from the ground up with a focus on, you know, genuine claimants getting support, people that are bullshitting or, you know, reliant on self-professed symptoms being kind of undermined, you know?
So I'm like, okay, that's fine.
The UK needs reform, yes.
Obviously, data protection. Yeah, see, look, they've got all these things about online, obviously in person. So I'm just going to do it like what I am talking to you, like I do with client meetings. I'm not the payment and expenses. I don't know. You know, I've not.
Dude, if the government was smart, what they do is they get people for the in-person sessions, and then they, you know, put them in a hidden camera room and see what they did. Well, no, what you do is you get them in a hidden camera room, right? And then you have like a little fire pop up out of the floor.
Sadly, you're raped.
Yo, crispy legs! Thank you for the 10 gifted. That's super generous. Thank you, thank you. Thank you for that. So you see this person sort of come in, and they're on crutches, and they sit in the room, and the fire goes, they're like, oh, fuck, and they run out of the room, and then the guy in a suit's waiting outside, and he's like, well, well, well. So I've got on here that you can't walk. What the fuck's going on there? What's these crutches for?
Attention to that. So then you get that about you form. You haven't have got to have been involved in anything prior to this. You can just do this. You can just take part. Let me bring you closer to me, because I've got loads of fans on because it's the 32 degrees in my house today, and that's with a big aircon unit on. Not that you're interested in that. Can you do me a favour? If you feel comfortable doing it, can you register for this? Because if I don't get in, I'd really like to know, like, what happened, how was it interesting? This is so important for our future. Obviously, if I do get included, I'll let you.
The problem is that how do you find people that are legitimately giving good feedback versus the ones that are just their mindset is? Because obviously we're very protective of our thing, our things that mean a lot to us and are important to us, you know? How do you find someone that's legitimately going to go like, yeah, it was a bit of a piss take, to be honest. You know, I sent a few doctors' letters through, you know, laid it on thick in a meeting. And then before I knew it, I was getting all this money. Who is going to say that? No one is going to fucking say that, dude. Everyone's going to talk about how hard and tough it is. And I can definitely see, if you're actually disabled, there probably are hoops you've got to jump through that fucking suck. Sure, I can see that. But it's how do you find those people that are legit versus the ones that are just laying it on thick? You know, it's like they lay it on thick in the application, and then when they're asked how it is, they lay it on thick there as well. Oh, my bloody back, my bloody back.
You know, if I don't get included, I'll let you know. Hopefully they'll confirm either way. If I don't get included, we'll just need to wait until they send out the next update, and then obviously I'll read that and do an update. As per normal, I will not be doing any. I'm not interested in hearsay. I'm not interested in gossip, fear-mongering, none of that. I will only do these videos when there is an update from the government themselves. That's it. So we'll wait and see what happens. Just really quickly, if you're still watching, like brilliant, I've set up these quizzes based on your feedback, free quizzes to help you focus on the right areas of PIP. There's links in the description. You don't even need to put your emails in. So have a look at those because the feedback I'm getting is they're really helpful.
Dude, I need to maybe over the weekend. I want to do a bit more of a look into this, and I think there's a lot of funny content in there, you know. Fat bitch cope, fat bitch cope.
Sadly, you're raped.
This one's for the abattoir.
Yo, thank you for the kicks. Thank you, thank you. Okay, guys, I'm going to take a little look at this. I'm going to try and find more of the sick fluencer pip thing, and try and do like a whole thing about it. I think it'll be funny. That'd be funny. I don't want to sound like a wagey cuck, but what do you do if you don't work? I'd kill myself. Well, I mean, the thing is that as much as people like to joke around me being off all the time, you know, if I'm just sat here now, I can't just sit here. I can't just like sit here and just play a game. You know, if I've not streamed in a day, because I'm like, I might as well just stream. Might as well just go live. I'm just fucking sat around. That's why I started streaming more. You know, on my sort of days off, because I'd just be sat there before the school run. Like, well, I don't really have anything else to do at the moment, you know. But then I think, yeah, if you're not working any sort of normal job and then you're at home, I mean, what do you do all day? You know, you play video games. That gets a bit boring after a while. And then what? Watch TV for a bit. I don't know. You're just going to get bored, surely. Well, like you lose this. I think that's one of the problems is you lose this kind of purpose in life. Do you know what I mean? You lose this kind of purpose and drive. It's why this stuff's so fucked as well. Because yeah, you just end up in a situation where, like, what are you doing? What are you working towards? What are you? You know, you're just living off government handouts. It's a shit existence. You know? So, anyway. EDP Max, just talk to your AI girlfriend all day about I'm going to destroy her asshole. Oh, very true. Very true. Oh, fuck, dude. They got rid of the bungalow video. They got rid of the bungalow video. Okay, let's do a little bit of news. And then I'll do a little funny disability video that I saw, and then we'll get into the extra EDP content and JIDION stuff. She makes money from this shit, dude. Okay, I'm gonna get a whole thing together. New PIP 80 support for people making a brand new PIP claim. One of our experienced consultants will guide you through your claim form during a video appointment. What? They charge money? Oh, dude, this is outrageous, man. And also, this is the other problem too. If you're paying money, you're going to want to get your payout. You're not going to want to pay money to not get your fucking payout. So the advice is all going to be governed around making you get the money. Fuck me, dude. Okay. Okay. Guys, I will report back once I've looked a bit further into this. I don't want to misrepresent it or get something wrong. Oh my god, dude. All your money. Well, you know. What can you do? What can you do, guys? What can you do? I'm trying to you know, avoid as much tax as I can, mate. No, dude, I don't mind paying, you know, 30% of my my income is tax. That seems like a fair amount to me, you know. I think you keep the lion's share, government gets 30%. That's fair enough for me. I don't have a problem with that. I think 30% of my overall income, but obviously, you know, that's not the top end rate. But that's national insurance as well. You should be paying 60. I mean, I know you're joking, but the obvious problem with that is, why would you want to work if you're paying 60% of your income to the government and you're keeping the lesser portion. That seems completely unreasonable. But anyway. Anyway. Stop being greedy. Oh yeah, that fucking disabled wretch was calling me greedy the other day. Dude, what is this fucking thing of you're greedy? What is that about, dude? Bro, I got bills to pay. I got fucking a house to pay for, and I got shit going on in my life that I want to do. I'll make as much money as I fucking want to without doing what the fuck. You're greedy for wanting to maximize the amount of money you're making. It's fucking mental mentality. Like I say, total poor mindset mentality. Anyway, what's this? Wait, what are we even looking at here, dude? Who is this? Who the fuck is this, bro? British 10? British 10, am I right? Way! Let's go! Let's go!
The English Riviera. Torquay's been a seaside holiday hotspot since the 19th century.
I gotta say, I don't know what they meant by this.
Torquay's been a...
You're raped.
Yo! Fire in the Sky, thank you for the kicks, thank you. I've got to say, they call this a dark side of Devon. And the two first images they show is a disabled person and two Muslims at the beach. What do they mean by that? What do Channel 4 News mean by that? What are they trying to say here exactly?
Seaside holiday hotspot since the 19th century, home to crime writer Agatha Christie. But today the mystery is how this once thriving town seems to have lost so much of its charm.
Within a short walk, I've counted 6 abandoned hotels just in this neighbourhood. And one hotel owner I spoke to says there's been big problems with antisocial behaviour in this area.
My name's Joe Johnson. I'm a YouTuber and I want to find out what happened to the seaside town where I used to come on my holidays as a kid.
The signs of substance abuse are clear to see here in
Got
Torquay.
doxed. Hooray, it's
As I'm
my
walking
house,
up the staircase
hooray.
on the outskirts of the town centre, I can see a needle cap ahead of me. I can see a bloody swab on the floor here next to me. And in fact, it continues over into the bush area as well.
I mean, you know, the South Coast is just raped, man. It's fucking raped. And yes, obviously, people are going to bang on about the immigrants this, immigrants that. And there's, you know, multifaceted reasons. And I think one of the big influences, as far as I understand it, is that flights are so cheap. And it used to be that 40, 50 years ago, if you needed to go on holiday, the cheapest option would be going to the South Coast, you know, because obviously it's hotter on the South Coast generally in the UK. And it's about as close as you can get to like a tropical kind of vibe that, you know, a working class family would be able to do. But now it's cheaper to actually book a fucking flight, book a flight to fucking Mallorca or Spain or something like that. And so it's, you know, the travel in itself, like unless you're driving down or something like that. But, you know, if you're taking transport, say, it's so fucking expensive. I mean, it's more expensive to fly from Scotland to England than it is to fly from like Scotland or England to mainland Europe. It's just, you know, obviously there's economic factors that play behind it and stuff, and it's not like you can fix it. But I just think it's this big influence as to why people don't fucking go there anymore. And then you get all these fucking homeless wretches turning up because it's sunny, you know? It's kind of fucked, isn't it? Bit California-esque in that way.
On the once thriving high street, I count 40 closed shops. 2 of them shut for allegedly selling illegal vapes and having links to organised crime.
Wow.
Outside one, I meet Joyce and Greta, who's lived here for 50 years.
How's the town changed over that period of time?
Oh, come on. Oh, dude. What are we dealing with here? What are we dealing with?
Whether it's for the better or the worse?
Worse. Much,
Really?
much worse.
Okay.
Shops closing down. It's just not the same.
Do you feel safe walking around the high street?
No, it's not. It's not safe.
Would you
No.
say it's not safe?
No.
I wish it was like it was when I first came here.
Okay.
And especially when I used to come down with my husband and the 2 little boys. You know, I mean, his son's 62 now, so it's a long way back, and it was brilliant. And I don't think it'll ever go back to when I first came in the 1960s, whatever it was.
Oh, dude, she's just dancing around it. She's dancing around it. Come on, say the actual truth about what's going on here.
The town has a much higher crime rate and antisocial behaviour rate than the national average, and there's been an increase in people sleeping on the streets as well. I'm quickly discovering the other side of this charming seaside town. Harriet is disabled and needs a wheelchair to get around, but is living in a tent in a nearby park with her partner. Harriet is disabled and needs a wheelchair to get around.
Or raped.
The shop doors might be closed, but those gilfs are always open.
Oh, what the fuck, man? That's disgusting, but thank you for the 500 gigs. Thank you, thank you. So maybe it's just a sort of, you know, they're so raped they don't fucking care. But like, why are you smoking? Why are you having a cigarette when you're in a wheelchair? I know it's not exactly linked, but it's not going to help you, is it? It's not going to make things any better.
But is living in a tent in a nearby park with her partner Joe. She has cerebral palsy and is registered blind.
Oh God.
So what can you tell me about a day-to-day living in the tent here?
It sucks. It's not ideal. You know, you can barely move in there because we've got stuff in there. It's too warm this time of year. My health is...
What's it like being a total wretch with no prospects in life? Yeah, it kind of sucks, to be honest. Yeah, it's not really ideal. It's like British politeness coming into play. It's not really ideal, is it? You know?
My coughing's getting a lot worse now, and so is Harriet's. I mean, Harriet will go down to the library, and it's cooler in there. But I've got to stay up here in this sweat box.
Of course, because somebody's got to watch the tent.
Yeah. Because it's not safe enough, and the council will either come around and slice it up and chuck it away.
It makes me very anxious to be in this situation, because you never know when you're going to be attacked or mugged or anything, do you? Do you know what I mean?
Is that a real concern for you guys, the security, the fact that you are here in the tent and you've said this?
She's obviously got sort of hormone issues, okay? I don't think she's trans. But she's got a lot of facial hair, which is normally indicative of some sort of hormonal imbalance type of hair going on.
Often drug use.
I mean, these are the kinds of people that I look at and I think, yeah, you're just totally mullered. Like, I think, you know, these to me are people that need support, and I don't know what their circumstances are. I don't know what their life is like. But I'm like, yeah, sure, help these people out. They sound like they're fucking... This guy's very polite about his circumstances.
In the nearby park. And
yeah, and obviously her condition, which is the main. She needs to be somewhere where she's able to get that support.
Have you noticed an increase in substance abuse and crime on the streets of Torquay?
Yeah, I mean, I got shot in the head not so long ago by a gap gun. That's what that mark is above my eyebrow.
It's me that worries because...
You should count yourself lucky you're not in America. That would have been an actual gun. Rather toss him a few bucks so I don't have to go to a place and see them working there. Imagine looking out your window and seeing these two wretches parked up. You feel sick to your stomach, wouldn't you?
I have to make sure it's a busy area so I feel safe.
The park where they've set up is at the top end of the shopping street, a stone's throw away from the notorious Factory Row. There's a homeless shelter here, and before we turned on our camera, I saw a dealer openly selling drugs. When he spots us, he leaves, but Carlisa wants a chat.
So this is effectively where you call home?
This will become bed spaces by tonight.
Are these bags here?
Yeah.
That's people's belongings?
I know whose they are. These are 3 individuals, they're 2 males, and that's one of the girls, yeah.
I don't think I've ever been to Torquay.
Torbay is not Torbay anymore. I'm 53 years old and I'm born and bred here, and I've never ever wanted to leave my hometown in all of my life. I'm so ready to leave this shithole right about now. It's unbelievable.
Have you seen an uptick in violence over the last sort of year or so?
And in the daytime.
By the way, she's only 24 years old. That's the true crime in all of this. You're thinking, God, look at this fucking wretch. 24. British 24-year-old, 10 out of 10 woman. That's what we're dealing with.
Middle of the street and stuff.
Really?
And the boys that wouldn't be fighting, they're turning on each other. Listen, everybody is struggling out here at the moment.
And that increase in violence at this end of town is why there'll soon be another empty premises. On Abbey Road, just off Factory Row, is the South Devon Tattoo Shop, run by Ricky for the past 3.5 years.
Oh shit.
He's become so fed up with the constant violence, and what he says is a lack of response from the police or council. He's closing up.
Hello, mate. How's it going?
Is
You
it
all right?
Ricky?
Yeah.
Nice to meet you,
yeah,
mate.
nice
I'm
to
Joe.
meet you. You all right?
How you going, buddy?
Yeah, good, good.
Excellent, excellent. What's going on, Ricky? Are you packing up?
Yeah, just packing up. Just had enough of the area, really. It's so hard just to run a business here. It's just not a nice place to open a shop.
What's been happening?
The list is endless. The list is endless. It just keeps going. It's not getting any better along here.
Really?
People getting robbed, people nearly getting stabbed, fighting, scrapping. There's always something going on here.
You've seen that firsthand?
Yeah, 100% right outside the door.
Dude, over the tattoo shop. Wow, lots of seedy characters around here. Bro, that's like fucking ancient, old school mentality. Now, tattoos are cool, aren't they? People love tattoos. I think you've got the kind of old school mentality about it. There's normal people now that go and get tattoos. I don't have any tattoos personally. But there are people who go and get tattoos that aren't like seedy drug heads. Right? Surely. Come on. Be reasonable.
Stuff on camera.
He shows me just one of a dozen attacks he says he's seen over the past 3 years. This time, one of his customers gets punched by a drug user. Ricky says he reported it to the police, but no one was ever charged.
No need for it. Literally just sucker punched him.
Completely out of the blue, that wasn't it?
Proper ego punch,
hell,
like
dude.
just bang out of order.
And so how does that make you feel as a business owner?
Okay, that is bad. I will agree that that's bad. Okay. But, why was he wasting his time talking to a fucking drug addict in the first place? What was that all about? That seems foolish to me. That seems a bit foolish. Why are you taking even a second to waste your time talking to a fucking drug addict? Fuck that, dude. Get out of there. Get out of there now.
Here, having to contend with all these issues that are ongoing here.
Just really let down, really, by the council. They could be doing so much more. The police could be more involved. They could be doing more. You know, as a small business owner, there's nothing really more I can do. Like there's rubbish everywhere in the streets. There's the drug use and everything. If the council, started changing things and got the police more involved and everything like that, then it could be beautiful. But it's like they seem to just don't care.
The police say they have done additional patrols around the neighbourhood and say crime in Torquay has come down in the past year and that the area remains one of the safest places to live in England. And Torquay isn't the only seaside town in
that doesn't sound true.
Devon with a bad reputation. On the North Devon coast, I've heard they are facing similar issues to Torquay.
I'm here now in Ilfracombe, where 4 in 10 children are living in poverty,
I know Ilfracombe.
and healthy life expectancy is just 59, the lowest of any rural town in England. There's been reports...
I mean, I don't know. Is it not? I mean, he's not really getting into the causes of this, but is it not the holiday issue? The fact there's not as much money in the local economy because people aren't coming as much, Because I think on the North Coast, I mean, that's unlikely to be anything to do with immigrants, right? Like you couldn't even point to the fucking classic writer at all. It's only the immigrants.
Of rising violence and drug use, with the Daily Mail even asking, is this the crack cocaine capital of England?
Again, it's a tale of two sides. On the High Street, recently dubbed a no-go area in one news report, we find police investigating a break-in at a Chinese restaurant. But
what are you going to find at a Chinese restaurant? Maybe cash? Maybe some just cash, I guess. Why would you break into a chinky? What would be the purpose of that exactly? A succulent Chinese meal? They're breaking in to find a succulent Chinese meal, yes.
Also, lots of independent shops and thriving businesses. Volunteer litter pickers tidying everything up.
What can you tell me about Ilfracombe as a town?
It's a lovely place. I've lived there now for 23 years and I really enjoy it. The seafront, the beach, the harbour, the quayside, it's all fantastic. It's a nice little place and I love it, yeah.
I think I identified the problem. You're letting Down syndrome people or deaf people, I guess, I don't fucking know, run the local council.
It might be that because this is the height of summer, the sunshine is making everything look good and busy.
Shut in 2 years.
This is one of several independently run cafes in the town, which opened just a few months ago.
No doubt you read the headline stating that areas of Ilfracombe are a no-go zone. What's your thoughts on that, and how did it make you feel reading those reports?
It's absolutely devastating and really shocking. And certainly if I'd been in a position of should I invest or not invest, I would not invest reading those reports.
Do you feel that those headlines had an effect on other businesses within Ilfracombe?
Sure, they did, and they probably would have had an effect on me if I'd been here and known the difference. And we do need improvement. This is a place that has got so much potential. Why would we waste the potential?
So what is the truth? Is the media
nice,
right
isn't it?
that this
Does look
town is too
beautiful.
dangerous to visit? Well, we're better to find out than at the base.
What is this though? What is this woke statue that they've put in? It's a pregnant woman with a sword. What the fuck? I don't know what that is. I don't really know. I think I've been there once, but I don't know the ins and outs of it. All area needs is one, hit their economy and no reinvestment afterwards to fuck up a local economy. Placed them in a complete shit because the EU killed its main industry, manufacturing, and they never got investment after. So until like 5 years ago, it's one of the most dangerous areas in Ireland. Yeah, this is why you need to build a data center in these places so that people can go and learn to code, right?
Of the Damien Hirst sculpture called Verity.
So we've all seen the headlines. Ilfracombe, crack cocaine capital of the UK. Would you agree or disagree?
Completely disagree.
Who's
Not
this
true in the
jolly
slightest.
lady?
We don't want to say, oh, nothing bad happens at all in Ilfracombe. You can't just carpet over things that do go on. But at the same time, the amount of positive stuff far, far outweighs the negative. Or we managed to get some lottery funding to start a youth club and do a lot of outreach and stuff now.
Yeah,
so it's
I
the
think
first
that is a
time in-
Damien Hirst. I'm not familiar with it, but Damien Hirst is a bit hit and miss for me. I do like modern art, but Damien Hirst has got some great exhibits, but also some kind of, you know, like exactly the kind of reason that people hate modern art is what he's done, you know?
Well over a decade that that's happening.
Am I right in saying that statistically around 30% of the people...
Oh, by the way, did I tell you about when I was away in June? I went to an art gallery and it was like there's some modern art bit in it. Walked up, picture of a gangly looking guy. That's right. He's got AIDS. He's got fucking AIDS, bro. It's literally a piece of a guy. You're like, what's this all about? You look at the sign. This guy's got AIDS, and that's now art. I took a picture of some AIDS-riddled guy, and that's now art. Have a look at it.
Within Ilfracombe Central are below the deprivation line. Would you say that that has an effect on the crime levels within the town?
No, not at all.
You went to an art gallery? Yes. Yes. Why is that so surprising to you? What, you think I'm some sort of Philistine? I always go to it. If I'm in a given area and there's like a famous local gallery, I'll go and have a look, particularly if it's a modern art gallery. Because I do like some modern art, so I have a lot of fun with it, because either I see something that I like and I like the concept, or I just get to laugh at a bunch of AIDS-related artwork that they've stuffed in there.
These are local people, they are local families, these aren't individuals, they are people that we know. And it doesn't mean that because you're in poverty, it means that you're a criminal or you're going to go stealing. And so I think as a community, we try and do what we can to understand why people are in poverty and see what we can do to kind of mitigate that and support them out of that.
Ilfracombe is one of 15 towns shortlisted for the UK's Town of Culture, from 400 nominations. If they win, they'll get £3 million.
Yeah, dude, some of
Much
these
needed
areas, like this is all lovely, isn't it? You could imagine going for a nice walk along here, you know?
funding that will go a long way to improving services. There are problems in Ilfracombe, but it's the same in any UK town.
Yeah, art galleries can be fun. I remember going with Mumsy and found an installation full of absolutely schizophrenic Christian man painting white woman and dogs going to heaven up a mountain. Yeah, dude, exactly. They sometimes display art and you're like, what the fuck is this? It's some insane thing. Honestly, I'd recommend it. It is a lot of fun if you go with someone, you know, that's like-minded. It can be very fun to go around, look at the exhibits, have a laugh about the funnier ones, you know. Like, there's always ones where there's like a bunch of fat gay queers that they photograph. That's very in vogue, you know. Oh, the beauty of the body, and it's some ugly fat queer that they've taken a picture of and stuck on the wall.
Owners did tell us the negative headlines over the past year have led to cancelled bookings. Back in Torquay, there are plenty of people who still love coming here.
I sort of staying in like an old classic hotel, and it's just like, yeah, it's kind of, it's cool. Like, it's just kind of like revisiting the glory days of the old British seaside town, you know what I mean?
We come here every year. We've been coming here for the past 13 years.
Wow.
We absolutely love coming here. It's just really relaxing, really nice. And when the sun's out, it's even better.
It's really beautiful. I think with how hot it's been
That guy
over the
was gay,
last
wasn't
few
he?
months,
You don't really need to go abroad. I'd probably say it's cheaper, food-wise, than back in South
Hey,
Wales.
Welsh
really.
battle axe.
We haven't spent any more coming to a day
Oh.
trip here than we would have back in South Wales.
Whoa!
And they're not the only ones finally
Whoa!
enjoying life.
The fuck,
Ricky's
dude?
opened a new shop in another part of town, the St Mary Church area of Torquay.
Ricky!
Well, that looks good.
Mate.
That looks
Mate,
nice.
Look
You're
at this
all right.
place.
It's all right, isn't it?
Yeah. Blimey, what a difference.
I'm happy with it.
And how are you finding things here?
Amazing. It's
Yeah.
like, it's a completely different environment. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. People are beautiful.
I can imagine Chud in absolute stitches, howling at some AIDS-riddled freak while the proprietor asks if he's okay. I'm all right, this is just how I process trauma.
That was a banger. Thank you. Thank you for the 333.
They're just, everyone's so welcoming. They're so nice.
Goodness me. So I'm assuming you're not concerned about your clients coming to this shop now?
Definitely not. No, it's amazing.
Yeah.
It's like so welcoming.
And so what's been the main differences from since you've moved into this unit?
I haven't seen anyone off their edge yet. For a start, no dog poo. Everyone's really chatty. I mean, and the biggest thing, I think, I sit out there and have a cigarette and my coffee in the morning, and everybody says good morning. It's beautiful. It's just, yeah, it's such a difference.
Yeah. We travelled like 5 minutes in the car.
Yeah.
And I can't believe the difference.
I know, it's unreal. There is that option, just 5 or 10 minutes drive outside of the war zone, if you like. It is beautiful. There is some really beautiful places still.
Well, there we go. There's a happy ending.
Torbay Council say they are addressing antisocial behaviour in the town. They've installed more CCTV cameras and say their town centre officers have been accredited with limited police powers to combat crime and disorder. There
Love
are
a Mr.
definitely parts
Whippy.
of Torquay
Love
that
a
have kept
Mr.
that
Whippy.
traditional seaside charm, but sadly it's let down by the high street. Would it take much to restore it to its former glory? I just hope
Hey,
they try.
crabbing! Do you do that in America? Do you guys do that in America where you go and get a bunch of crabs in a bucket and then just chuck them back? Just kind of a little weird thing we do over here, you know? Speaking of CCTV, you seen the flock stuff in America? I actually haven't. I haven't been keeping much of an eye on social media. What's been going on? What's been going on? Link it and I'll take a look at it at some point. But guys, here it is. This is what you're all here for, ladies and gentlemen. Farage won the election, but Count Binface got like 25% of the vote. Let's go! We're Binface, Binface, Binface. It is 100% the Black Mirror episode, without fucking question. Where Waldo gets a certain percentage of the vote and the CIA turn him into a tool of government oppression. No, Farage was never in danger. It was the centrist dad copoid shit. Oh, Binface might win. Binface might actually lose. He's not going to fucking win. What are you on about? Anyway, one thing I did see that was quite funny is there was this, all the people were kind of getting out the docket, the voting, whatever it's called, the voting thing. And because so many people ran in the area, they're like this fucking long. So they're unfolding these massive fucking ballots. They've all got like fucking 30 names on.
Kumari, yes, Count Binface, who I interviewed at Makerfield a few weeks back. You got 95 votes at Makerfield. I think you're going to get more here, but I don't think you're going to win.
Oh, well, thank you for saying that.
That you couldn't get Binface elected means there is no hope for you UK hobgoblin slimyoids. Move over and let America colonize you already.
Good point, Scream. Very true, very true. Thank you. Thank you for the gigs. Thank you.
John, firstly, yes, it's lovely to see you again. We meet again at last. Last time, you didn't even know who I was. Have you worked it out this time? There's 34 names on the ballot. Have you figured out who I am?
Yeah, I have now, yes.
Excellent. Well, then we're on a good start. There we go.
Good start, yes.
So who is this character? Is Mrs. that's like... This is all just fucking ridiculous, bro. We're like the birthplace of democracy, and this is what it's come to.
And you mentioned Makerfield. I got 0.2%.
By the way, also, I don't even fault the people that are like running necessarily. This is because Farage is a fucking idiot. Has got all this controversy that he's embroiled in. So he decided to provoke a stupid, retarded, pointless by-election to give this kind of fake legitimacy to his position. When it doesn't fucking matter what the people of Clacton think. There are serious questions about what the fuck is going on with funding for you and your party.
In that election. And let's just say, speculate that I managed to keep my deposit, which would be a nice start, 5%. I make that a 2,500% swing to Binface in 2 months. I think that's the greatest swing in British political history, but you probably know better than me.
I'm not sure about that. Anyway, why did you stand here in Clacton?
That's where the election was, John.
Right, but why? I mean, is it a publicity? Yes, I can see that. Is it a publicity stunt or?
Dude, this people didn't get my vision on this because they thought because they're retarded, because they're totally retarded, right? But the problem here is that this guy has now got 26% of the vote, right? And he's like a joke candidate. Joke candidates are supposed to get like 0.2% or something like that and be ignored. But now they're getting like interviewed by the press. And the moment you try and scrutinise them, he just says a joke. And it kind of undermines any attempts to scrutinise what's going on here. Whereas I think that, you know, even if you're a joke candidate, if you're getting a substantive amount of the vote, it's reasonable the press might want to challenge you a bit and ask some questions and ask what you're doing and, you know, question some of the criticisms that have been made about you.
Did you really hope to win?
No, that's a bit mean. No, it's about taking part and celebrating British democracy, like in our chat in Makerfield. Isn't it wonderful?
How can you not love this guy? Because I'm not into Reddit humour. I'm not into Reddit centrist dad jokes, personally.
If you wanted to, you could stand in election. Any of these lovely photographers, anybody in Britain can stand for election, no matter what you believe or what you look like. It's brilliant. So I want to do that with my fully costed manifesto. And I'm on the up. I mean, who was I to think in Makerfield that I would suddenly become His Majesty's official opposition? But here we are.
You mentioned the manifesto. I read your manifesto. It looks a bit more serious than the last time. Tell us what are the highlights of your manifesto here?
Yes, well, thank you for reading it, John. That's fantastic. That makes a change.
Well, I had to after you ticked me off for not knowing enough about you.
Well,
if he painted this bin brown and called himself Nigface, Chud would have gone door knocking for him. Very funny.
You know, I think I was a fair ticking off, to be honest, don't you? But, well, you know, I make a series of fully costed important policies, from capping bus fares at £1.99 and...
Chud has to pretend he doesn't support Farage, but keeps looking at any possible angle to downplay his controversies and overplay his... Dude, I literally just fucking said. I literally just heavily criticised him. What the fuck are you on about, dude?
99 flakes and 99p to retaining my pledge to build at least one affordable house, but tallying that with Clacton-specific measures such as improving Walton Pier and making sure that MPs who resign mid-parliament without changing parties are barred from the resulting by-election, which would save the taxpayer a lot of money. Plus, of course, energy companies, oil and gas companies, to pay for solar panels for everyone, a policy from Jack, age 10. How about it?
You're getting quite serious, though, some of these policies.
See, the thing is, you know, it's all like a joke. But then he says things which clearly indicate an ideology, right? Like the solar panel comment is wrapped up in a joke. But clearly his personal view is that he's got, you know, green ecological beliefs. Do you see what I mean? But then you question it, and it's like, oh, it's just a joke, it's just a joke. But you've got an underlying ideology that drives you, even if it is wrapped up in a joke, and the overall thing that you're doing is running as a joke candidate.
Policies, aren't you?
Well, why not? I mean, I think nationalising Adele is as serious as it gets, because...
Have you spoken to her?
You notice he pivots off to, like, Adele, when he's just made a point. Like, his clear point there is he is concerned with environmental causes, but he just pivots off to a joke.
I'm hoping she might reach out to Sky News. I mean, why not? I mean, it is the Exchequer...
None of the main parties ran because it was a fucking ego contest and it was a waste of time. Correct decision, by the way. Correct decision. Because that's all it was. It was a PR stunt thing. Like, you know, trying to act like, well, Clacton have heard from me again, so there's no more questions to ask.
Needs a hit. And I think to back Adele before she releases her new album would be huge. But of course, look at this here. You just said at the beginning of this interview that Nigel Farage is claiming victory, but
he is.
Well, in that case, it's going to be a two-legged match, like the Carabao Cup or the Cold War, because we're going to be back again in a few weeks, aren't we?
Well,
so we'll see what happens then.
He says that if they forced another by-election, the establishment, as he says...
You mean me?
Yeah, well, he calls you the establishment candidate. He's said in the last half hour or so, at some party he's having with his supporters, that he's beaten the establishment candidate. I assume he means you.
Well, that's interesting, isn't it? Because one of the candidates was a sitting MP.
Well, I don't think that he was like the establishment candidate. That's kind of a retarded way of putting it. But he became, because no one else was running, he became an avatar for anti-Farage sentiment, right? Like, obviously, everyone that hates Farage voted for him because he was the representative of the anti-Farage perspective. But calling it like establishment is retarded. Like Reform and Nigel Farage is part of the establishment, as far as I'm concerned.
An MEP, architect of Brexit, one of the most significant British politicians of the last 20 years, and reputedly a member of the East India Gentlemen's Club, which to this day does not admit women. Now, if that's not the establishment, I'd like to know what is, because I'm a lone wolf space warrior.
You went to Oxford University, though, didn't you? That's a bit posh.
I've parked above it in my spaceship, but I don't know what you mean. I mean, I'll tell you what, I haven't...
So, did you see the thing here? Dude, people didn't get it because they're so wrapped up in retarded sidecock politics, right? You see the problem with this. It's like a massive deal. It's not the end of the world. But he gets challenged on something, and it's, oh, I'm in my spaceship, I'm just in my spaceship. It's like turning it all into a big joke. Exactly,
plagiarised any research? How about them apples?
Jokes.
Well, you mentioned the bus fare cap. Andy Burnham's done that. Did you steal that policy from him?
No, I upgraded it. He went £2. I think the people of Clacton deserve better. £1.99. Funded through a windfall tax on cosy crime novels written by celebrities. It's perfect.
Tell us who your colleague is. Your assistant, your spin doctor.
Yes.
Who are you, please?
Well, I mean, I don't think that you have to care about this. I don't think like you've got to care. If you don't give a fuck about this stupid joke candidate, it's whatever. But it's when it gets challenged to a question, people are like, oh, what? What? Oh my God, it's all a big joke. What do you mean? And it's like, well, hang on a minute. There are certainly retarded comments made about this guy. I can see that myself. But can we stop acting like it's unreasonable to ask a few challenging or pressing questions to a guy? Because it's you know, worthwhile to sort of question and challenge some of his views and beliefs if he wants to express a more serious position than just, you know, £1 wig and kebabs or something like that. Wait, sorry, did that hurt your ears, Mahorka? Sorry, I'll whisper.
I'm a strategist.
A strategist? And does she give you all your policies, or they're yours? What's your role exactly? He called you a spin doctor a little earlier.
Yeah, well, I have many talents.
Yes, and I can activate her within 45 minutes, just like any spin doctor.
Not on live TV, thanks.
Not like that. Cheeky, John. Cheeky. Getting into the swing of it, I like it.
Oh, yes. So, I mean, you're going to have a long wait for the result here, aren't you? And you're going to get hot in that costume.
Aren't you going to get hot in that beautiful suit of yours?
Well, it's not that beautiful.
It's very dapper. I mean, you going to have a cold shower halfway through?
It's hot up here, but actually in the press room it's very cool. So,
oh, you lucky man.
Oh, yes.
The fourth estate, you see everybody.
Now you're going to say we're the establishment.
Well, exactly.
See, you agree with Nigel Farage. He's been hitting out at newspapers like the Sunday Times and others that have criticised him over his, what Kemi Badenoch calls his fishy finances.
Yes.
Are you saying that we journalists are the establishment, like he does?
Well, I mean, you're called the fourth estate. It sounds pretty established.
No, I've always thought that was a rather silly term.
But it is true, though, isn't it? So that's pretty establishment. But why shouldn't the Sunday Times look into his £5 million donations? What's he hiding? It's interesting.
What do you think about the fact that he's got this inquiry by the Standards Commissioner and then the Standards Committee?
Okay, what? Imagine a silver foil covered pussy. God, you guys are absolute fucking perverts, bro. Enough. Do not think about that. You're not allowed to think about that.
Well, the thing which makes me curious, and I'm interested to get a journalist's view on this, is that there was a report in one of the papers, I believe, a speculation that the Reform UK strategists believed that by calling this by-election preemptively, it would avert the need for a by-election after the result of the Parliamentary Standards Committee. Now, I'm a space warrior from Sigma 9 with a fixation for CFAX and Lovejoy, but even I knew...
Bro, just get a few jokes in there to give yourself that kind of, whoa, why are you questioning me about me expressing serious political opinions? I'm just a alien from Sigma 9 on a spaceship. It's so irritating, man. It's so annoying.
Lovejoy, that's going back a bit.
Exactly, but even I knew...
Dennis McShane.
Lovely.
No, not Dennis McShane. He was the MP, wasn't he?
Ian McShane.
Ian McShane,
Come on,
yes.
John. It's like a university challenge. But you know what I'm saying is that even if I knew that wouldn't work, how would a putative government in waiting not know how Parliament works? I find that fascinating.
Well, you're right about that, because the fact is the rules, and I've studied them, say that if a person leaves Parliament for whatever reason, illness or whatever reason, it's paused, the inquiry suspended, but then if they get back into Parliament, it's resumed.
Exactly. So hold on to your popcorn, everyone, because the second leg in Clacton, which I prophesied, I said to the people of Clacton, vote Binface and you would save approximately 350 grand on a second by-election. So I reckon, how about this? He said Reform would pay for the second one. Maybe Nigel could pay for it out of his 5 million. That'd be nice.
Mr Farage has said this week that if there was a second by-election, that would be silly. And tonight he said it would be stupid. What do you think about that?
Well, I mean, yeah, this is preposterous. I mean, I do agree. I just don't like the fact that it's this fucking bin guy saying it, but it's true that, yes, it is ridiculous that you can circumvent the outcome of this. It's a bit Trump-esque, isn't it? I don't like using the Trump thing because it's very lazy normally, and it is kind of lazy now. But it's very Trump-esque to be like, well, I've done this little move, and now the Constitution doesn't apply anymore. It's that kind of mentality, you know? What is it called? A novel legal theory, or something like that, I think they're referred to it as.
Well, I'm glad he's not saying that this by-election's silly, which of course it isn't. It's a very fair and positive campaign.
Normal people like Binface, boring old unks like boring old politicians who rape.
In between two rival candidates to rule the country. I mean, next time you'd have all these silly novelty parties like the Liberal Democrats involved. I mean, who needs that?
But what do you think about the fact there are 34 candidates here?
Well, I mean, you might think that that is a circus, but A, it was predictable. I mean, I've done my research. I saw what happened to David Davis in 2008, before my time. But
I remember it.
Yeah, you go. Were you there?
No, but I remember it.
Why not?
Because I'm not sure. Somebody else must have covered it. I can't remember now.
Oh, I see.
But he got... let me get this right. The turnout there was 34%. It's rumoured to be about 43% here. And he got 72% of the vote, Mr Davis.
Yes.
Sadly, you're raped.
I mean, Mr Farage...
Yo, hey, Glocksane! Thank you for the
may
gigs,
get something like that here, mightn't he? I mean, if he gets a big thumping majority, say he gets over 70% of the vote, then...
Also, I don't really care to watch James O'Brien's take on this. Incapable of dealing with mockery. I do think it's true that Nigel really struggles. When he's beloved and when he positions himself as this kind of anti-establishment guy and he's fighting the establishment, I think he does kind of thrive amongst his base. I mean, he kind of thrives amongst his base anyway. But the only time you really see him kind of freaking out and not really just kind of rolling with the punches seems to be in these, like, either he's got something on him that the press are using to talk about that is damaging, or he's getting kind of mocked, you know? Yeah, I think Rupert Lowe is actually... Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, I think Rupert Lowe has got in his head. And they were worried in the lead up to the Makerfield election, but then Restore got like 7% of the vote, which is impressive for where they are, but certainly not the level that some of the Restore shills were saying it was going to be. But I think he is concerned about this pressure now. He's basically got like pressure from all sides, you know? Whereas I think, you know, last couple of years, he's kind of just enjoyed high polling and just been able to sit there and just throw peanuts at fucking Starmer. Now you got Burnham in charge, which is approval rating is higher. I think polling for Labour's increased. You've got the money stuff. You've got Rupert Lowe as a threat from the right. Will Farage bend the knee to who? Ask Mumsy. Mumsy hates all politicians because they're all backed by Israel. That's Mumsy's take on all of this business. Rupert Lowe, Elon Musk's new top guy after you turn on Farage is fucking Farage hard. Yep.
It's a good victory for him, isn't it?
Well, it's a good question. I mean, that's up to you, I think, to the journalists to say. I mean, and indeed all the populace. If, for example, even if I got to 12%, so 1 in 8 people in Clacton would rather vote for a space warrior shaped like a bin than Nigel Farage. That would be interesting, wouldn't it? And if it goes higher and higher and higher, it says more about...
Also, the other thing as well is there's been tons of coverage of this guy. You know, totally disproportionate coverage and support for this guy, considering he's like a joke candidate. So I think that that's probably influenced it too. Because normally these characters get like fucking no percent of the population. Sorry, like 0.2% of the vote. Yeah, well, I think he's got some silly name for his party, doesn't he? Well, you're going to join it? You're going to join it?
Yeah, the actual population thinks about Nigel Farage, then maybe this election... Remember, there was a national poll just a few weeks ago in which I defeated Farage as to who would make the better leader by the favourability poll, 33% to 21%. What do you make of that?
Well, you seem to suggest just now that 12% for you would be a good result. Is that what you're saying?
Well, the way I say it, John, is 1 vote is beautiful.
But would he be considered a major candidate? Maybe the news orgs are just like, we've got no one else to talk about, so let's bring these fucking people on. I think what would have been better is bringing on other political, that are more serious political parties, giving them a chance to have a say. That would have been better.
Beautiful.
But here we are.
I would take that, you know. 1 human choosing me, fantastic. Apparently there's a few more than that. 309 would be my greatest ever score in a parliamentary election.
Where did you get 308?
That was in Richmond and Northallerton against Rishi Sunak.
Rishi Sunak, yes.
Obviously. And you knew that?
Yes.
Yeah, of course you did.
I do now.
Yeah, there we are. And then, I mean, 5% I get to keep my deposits. We could go out for a curry. How about that, John? That'd be nice.
You paying?
Out of the 500.
How do you eat a curry with that on?
Well, I can't eat, but I'd watch you. It would be delightful.
Listen, I'm being told that we've run out of time.
What a shame.
It's been a pleasure talking to you.
You too, John. Nice to have you back. You're the pinky to my brain, the wise to my Morecambe. It's a pleasure to talk to you each time.
That is an honour to be called the wise to your Morecambe.
Absolutely.
Well, we might talk again when we know the result.
Let's do it.
Of course, he gets a lot of coverage. There's a bit on his head. 10 times more interesting to look at than an old rapist pedo's mug. Chud gets a pass, though. What, are you calling me a rapist pedo again? Fucking hell, dude. This guy's been getting coverage in America, I saw, as well, hasn't he? Hasn't there been like a... Not like as a mainstream like headline story, but like as like a sort of, you know, 5th or 6th topic in a news broadcast.
Hello, humans. Well, a new dawn has broken, has it not? Literally, because it's past 6:30 in the morning here in Clacton-on-Sea. And I can officially say...
Jelly Stars loves this guy. I mean, I don't find him funny. If someone likes him or finds him funny, you know, that's fine. Like, it's not a problem if you like him. It's just, what I find frustrating is that this kind of mockery of any attempt to scrutinise him when it's like, well, hang on a minute, he's not just like a joke candidate anymore. He's on a national platform making political comments that are disguised as jokes. So I think some level of scrutiny is fine. It's not the end of the world. I don't think this is like, oh, you know, there's lots of people that are kind of outraged about it. That seems a bit silly. It's not that deep. It's not that big a deal, really. And I think the fundamental problem here is not even Binface himself. It's the fact that Farage called this election in the first place. You know, Farage created the circumstances for all of this to occur with his absolutely ridiculous and fake by-election thing, you know?
That I am the winning candidate of the candidates who bothered to turn up.
Dude, when was I outraged about this guy? I was never outraged about it. I just thought it was a bit silly. And then I just felt that, you know, there was this kind of resistance to any sort of scrutiny as he's clearly become, you know, he's been put on national platforms to voice an actual political position that isn't just £1 wig and kebabs. It's, you know, a comment about an ecological, ideological perspective that's wrapped up in a joke. Well, yeah, scrutinise that, question that, of course. Why not?
the results. That's right, 9,455 actual votes. Just 8 weeks ago in Makerfield, I got 95. That means I've got against Nigel Farage 10,000% more votes than I got against Andy Burnham. What
Let's
does that tell
go!
you? Well, it tells you that Nigel, who said that he didn't want to be humiliated, maybe has been. As for me, I'm over the moon, I'm over your moon, I'm over my moons, and what comes next, well, we shall see.
Well, the
But
thing is, no one ran, so he did just become
Sadly,
the
you're
avatar.
right.
Yo, Space Station, thank you for the sub. He just became an avatar for any anti-Farage position. He's like an amount. He got supported by anyone that would have otherwise voted Labour, Conservative, etc. Would just voted for him because there wasn't really another option. But there was like, I saw the clip somewhere of the ballot was crazy because so many independents ran because no one else did. So they thought, well, it's an opportunity to get our perspectives out there, you know? Oh.
you know what?
Oh my God, dude. What?
We
This fuck.
know this for a fact. Over 1 in 4 people in this constituency would rather have Count Binface as their MP than the leader of Reform UK. And I'm just getting started. So where do we go now? Well, the first thing you have to consider is I promised to be a local champion for Clacton people, and I thought the best thing I could do was to turn up and get my verdict from Clacton's people and to stand with the other candidates who all behaved themselves impeccably until after the result. But yes, that was my view. And of course, the next question is what happens after this? Well, we will find out. Stay tuned for part 2 of the Clacton by-election, coming soon to a leisure centre near you as soon as that parliamentary inquiry reports. Bring it on.
Well done, Binface. Well done, buddy. Did he run actual adverts as well?
Hello, outer space. Hello, recyclons and all other alien species. Count Binface here, and I've found the most incredible little planet in the Omniverse. Well, apart from Sigma 9. The locals here call it Earth. It's not exactly a galactic hotspot, although it might be soon because the dominant species, human beings, seem to...
Listen, each to their own, okay? If you find this funny, more power to you. It's not my cup of tea. Yes, this is exactly the kind of thing I was talking about. UK hard-right populist Nigel Farage wins special election in which his main rival was a trash can. Yes, dude, this is exactly the kind of reporting that it's meant to provoke, isn't it? It's meant to, and it is, don't get me wrong, it is a fucking joke, okay? It is fucking crazy. But it is, yeah, very centrist dad code. It's like the Liz Truss letters thing. Will Liz Truss outlast this letters? Letters that fucking, what was it, the Star did that, I think. Anyway, guys, there we go. So Farage has won. But at what cost? At what cost, ladies and gentlemen? Rowan Atkinson. I'm just thinking, didn't Rowan Atkinson support Labour? But I could be wrong about that. I could be incorrect about that. Anyway, yes, guys. He's won. He's won again. Nigel Farage has won again.
And I therefore do hereby declare that Nigel Farage is duly elected as the Member of Parliament for the Clacton constituency at this election. Thank you all very much indeed. Thank you.
So, yeah, apparently he didn't turn up to the... apparently he didn't turn up for the count. Because, I mean, why would you? I mean, look at this, man. It's preposterous, isn't it? Look at the state of it. Not covering the death threat. What death threat? What are you talking about?
The breaking news this hour, Nigel Farage re-elected as the MP for Clacton. Let's bring in John Craig, who's at the count for us. John, tell us more.
Well, I've never heard so...
No, that's not true. They have exit polling that is exceptionally accurate. It's incredibly accurate, the exit polling in the UK, to the point where they can predict overall majorities and seats to within a very slim margin. So he would have known ahead of this that he'd won. So he didn't turn up because he thought he was going to lose. He turned up, I'm assuming, because even though he knew he was going to win, he didn't want to be pictured amongst a bunch of absolute fucking jokers. And he just thought it would look, you know, it would look bad, which he's right about. I mean, it does look preposterous, doesn't it? It does look ridiculous. Because this has been set upon by some people who are like independent politicians or want to be independent politicians that have got a political perspective, but then also just an absolute avalanche of joke candidates. I saw the Monster Raving Loony Party guy. There was a guy with a massive fucking hat on. I don't know what his deal was. See, I love a fucking joke candidate. I think it's funny. It's a funny little dynamic, you know? Some guy with a big hat on. I'm like, yeah, cool. Let's fucking do that. I'm all up for that.
Much derisory applause for a winning candidate, as we've heard just then for Mr Farage. So the headline is that Mr Farage has won comfortably, as we expected. I make his majority 12,784. I hope that's right. It's my maths. Mr Farage won 22,000.
Oh, Flip Flop's got the inside scoop. Wow. Okay, what's this?
I had to say that after 33 years of being a candidate in active politics, I've been advised tonight by Essex Police that there is an organised campaign to disrupt and degrade the result that will take place in a few hours' time.
I mean, yeah, that sounds like fucking bullshit. What, the police told you not to attend? And apparently that is bullshit, and Essex Police never fucking said anything like that. But that seems completely unbelievable. And I think that what he's probably alluding to there is the fact that you got a bunch of joke candidates and you look stupid. Because the wind has been taken out of his sails here. The whole point of this was to show, oh, the people of Clacton still support me. But because of all the kind of absurdity around it and the fact that none of the major parties have run, he just looks like an idiot. So I think it's more to do with that than it is any sort of police thing or an actual threat.
And once again, it shows you the sheer intolerance, the sheer loss of fundamental democratic principles that those that went before us fought in world wars to fight for and preserve.
This is like top tier boomer bait, isn't it? You know, just coming up with this bullshit and then being like, well, what about they fought for the world wars for this and now it's gone to nothing. Like, what are you on about, dude? There's no issue. Literally no problem, no threat, no issue. Also, as someone pointed out in chat, what happened? What happened to the £5 million that he got? What happened to the 5 million squids? I thought that was for security. Where did that all fucking go? Pouring in the pockets of some fucking land developer for a new house or something.
And this shows you why the battle that we're engaged upon in this in this great party, in this great movement of ours, is to get this country back to the values that it needs to be. And so I regret to say, and by the way, I'm not scared of these people, far from it. But I'm damned if I'm going to stand on a stage having won a resounding victory, a ringing endorsement of all that I've tried to fight for and you try to fight for, and be demeaned and humiliated by nobodies. And I will not, sadly, be attending the count.
Okay, I find that funny. The fact he's trying to try to do this move and he's been totally raped. And so he's like, I'm not going to get humiliated. It's like, you already are humiliated, bro. There's a lot of self-soothed coping happening here, isn't there? Oh, I'm not going to get... You already are, bro. Like, that's the fucking reporting. It's done. The story has done its job, and now the reporting is you won, but against a bin in America.
Which means I'm going to be here all night.
Dude, I hate his fucking laugh. I hate the way he laughs, dude. Dude, it's like such a fucking, it's crazy. Oh god, dude, it's like sickening the ego and the fact these days, like, I'm gonna be in, like, Nigel. He's like, ha ha ha. Dude, it's fucking crazy, man. There's a Homelander laugh, yes, dude, yes. Or the Bezos laugh. What is the Bezos laugh? Bezos laugh. One thing I actually quite like is that Nigel Farage is not racist either. There's the last remaining few libtards that are here, or it's far-right Nazis. And they don't like Nigel Farage either. So we can just universally hate on Nigel. It's great.
You want to be a chef. Maybe you want to be a dancer. I don't know what you want to do.
I'm not sure my boss is going to like that.
But you do need to follow your passions.
Right.
I would love for it to be after I'm dead.
40 minutes with you, it's already clicking down. We're going to use every one, so no droning on. Okay?
I see what you did.
No, that's coming up too, but that was actually not supposed to be a bad pun. And then disclosure, you are an investor in Business Insider,
Yes.
which is wonderful.
A happy investor, thank
you. It is great.
Best midnight snack while you're brainstorming?
I'm asleep at midnight.
That's important, isn't it? That's really good. A guy like you actually gets to sleep. That's good.
I am asleep. How to make it make financial sense. You know, what's not to love? You order the groceries online and we deliver them to your door.
What's funny about that?
That's very expensive.
What's funny about that, dude?
Success. Anytime you go down those alleys, you don't know whether they're going to be blind. So when you look at success and when you look at failure, how does it feel like when you're in the groove, when you actually know you're on the path to success?
Oh, it feels great. I mean, you know, you have to be in the mindset that you can accept blind alleys. But I'll tell you, the broad avenues are way more fun.
Dude, like, it's very reptilian in that he says something and he recognizes he needs to demonstrate a certain thing. So he just does this obviously fake laugh. Dude, it's weird. It's because it's like there's a moment. It's like the sort of there's a lack of effortless media training dynamics here, where he has to recognize and take a moment to get. I laugh now, laugh now. It reminds me of the Mark Zuckerberg cyborg memes. You know, what was the best one? Although, in fact, this isn't really the cyborg meme. Dude, where's this? Oh my god. Now, ones of his Facebook posts, some of them are based on him being a cyborg, but some of them are just based on him being a totally psychopathic business owner. Oh, where can I find it, dude? Do you know the one I mean when he's like threatening a newspaper owner? Do you know the one I'm talking about? Zuckerberg, newspaper, Facebook, meme. Come on. Come on, where is it, dude? Someone must know what I'm talking about. Oh, this is it here. This is it here, dude. This is it here, dude. This is the one. This is the one, man. This is the one. This one here's the one. Today, Priscilla and I stopped by some local newspapers as we drove through Alabama. One editor I met with was an elderly man in a tattered suit. I said to him, "You look like you need some money, old timer. I'll pay you $10,000 to read one of those newspapers." He had a good laugh at that. "Why are you laughing?" I continued. "Eat the paper. Eat it. Or I swear to God, I'll buy your newspaper and turn it into an anime fanzine. If you don't start munching on that sports section right now, you'll be writing articles about Naruto till you're cold in the grave. I'm a billionaire. You think anyone will stop me?" It took him 42 minutes to eat that paper. For 42 minutes, I had total power over that man. I never felt more alive. I bet that's what being president feels like. Oh, dude. That always tickles me. Always tickles me. Oh, yeah, I think Zuckerberg, since Trump took over, has been trying to do a bit of the rightoid Trump circuit in order to try and like curry favor with the administration so they don't rape his business.
You drink coffee, man, or no?
Nah.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, you've had it.
Sometimes on vacation, I'll drink it recreationally. It's like every once in a while.
Like a celebration.
Yeah, no.
Recreation.
Really? You drink coffee, man, or no?
Dude, people say it's because he's an alien or a cyborg. It's actually just because he's autistic. He's just an extremely autistic person that doesn't really understand and get how to behave properly. Hence why he runs a big fucking tech business. You know? So he's just trying to pretend and act normal. And he can't because he's a fucking weirdo. I mean, look at this. This is classic autism look, isn't it? You know? Classic autism perspective. Anyway, guys. Anyway. There we go. There we go, guys. Okay. There's a few more little things to look at and we'll get into it, okay? Oh, I wanted to look at this train derailment. Normally, train derailments aren't that interesting or exciting. But I did see this one was pretty fucking massive. Oh, wait, what's this? What's this you sent me? Oh, got too many windows open. What's this?
Earlier this year, I started building a simple AI to help run our home. I talked to Jarvis using this app I built. It uses artificial intelligence to understand me and figure out what to do.
Max woke up a few minutes ago. I'm entertaining her.
All right, let's go check on her.
Senator, I have not heard that.
Okay. Do you think Palantir taught Cambridge Analytica, as press reports are saying, how to do these tactics?
Senator, I don't know.
Do you think that Palantir has ever scraped data from Facebook?
Senator, I'm not aware of that.
Zuckerberg, I remember well your first visit to Capitol Hill back in 2010.
Please call station for voice check.
All right, station, this is Mark Zuckerberg at Facebook. Can you hear me okay?
Oh, God.
Connecting folks
Hey, Mark,
who are...
read you loud and clear. It's a pleasure to talk with you today.
No. You got the fucking
Great to talk to you guys, too. I have to say, when you're building
products
products to try to connect everyone in the world, connecting folks who are out in space is about as extreme and cool as it gets. So it's awesome to have the opportunity to talk to you guys today. Thanks for doing this.
It's a pleasure to talk with you today.
Like, what are they supposed to say? What is there to say about this? Who thought it was a good idea?
And is astronaut ice cream a real thing? Now, Deb from our studios team is joining me. Deb, do you want to take us through some of the exciting games in the pipeline for Quest?
Absolutely. Over the years, we've had the opportunity to work with incredible developers like Vertigo Games, the studio behind fan favorite Arizona Sunshine.
I love Arizona Sunshine. That game...
Dude, it's also the uncanny valley dynamic where they're trying to... It's just like this. They try and create the idea that they're having a natural conversation, but they're obviously not so scripted. But they can't, you know, kind of just effortlessly engage and kind of go... They're sticking to their scripts and they're doing it in a very rigid way, and it's obvious, but they're trying to act like it's just a free-flow conversation. Also, dude, his hair, man. His hair looks very android-esque, doesn't it? Very robotic. Very robotic fucking hairstyle, too. Like it's been plugged on at the factory.
Basically got me and my friends through the first few months
Oh,
of the
I was going to mention that. Yeah, they launched this metaverse thing to much fanfare a few years ago. And apparently it's like dead now. Like it's gone nowhere. And it hasn't made any money and they've had to shutter a lot of it. So that was a fucking waste of time, wasn't it? Another stupid waste of time they pumped a bunch of resources and money into.
That's awesome. If you enjoyed that, Mark, I think you'll be excited that we're partnering with Vertigo on 5 more great games from Deep Silver and others. We'll share more about this lineup very soon.
Nice. What else is coming?
Well, the metaverse is constantly evolving. So one of the most important aspects will be live service games that launch updates and new downloadable content regularly, like Echo VR, Beat Saber, Onward, Pistol Whip, and more.
Yeah.
We're focused on this a lot right now.
The problem with the VR stuff is that it is very, like, gimmicky. You try it once. I mean, who the fuck is going to put on a VR headset? I mean, I was, you know, thinking about maybe getting one at some point. But I don't really know what I'd use it for. It feels like one of those things you just have just to have it. Alex is now available without VR though. Is it good in VR? Is it worth getting it for Alex? Also, yeah, I don't, you know, the thing I'm worried about is I've just had this new TV mounted on the wall. I'm worried one of the kids will chuck something that will smash the TV. And I'll have to beat them because they've smashed up this new TV. The only piece of tech that I'm thinking about investing in now is I need to get a new phone because my phone's 4 years old and the battery's like not even lasting a day anymore. So I do need to get an upgrade. And I've always been quite skeptical of like foldable phones. I've always thought that they're like shit and stuff, but they've added a bunch of new tech in this year. And so the crease is barely noticeable. They use this new kind of special material that means you don't get as much as a crease. And I went and looked at one and it's fucking crazy, man. I saw the, what was it? The Samsung Z8 Fold Plus Ultra, wherever, all these fucking names, dude. And it looked fucking sick. They're not worth it. Dude, you should see a video on one of these things, man. And Google have just announced the Pixel 11 Fold. And yeah, I like Pixel. I like stock Android. You ain't other unfolding? Well, if you're on a journey or something, or, you know, you're going somewhere, it's like rather than having to take a tablet with you for like entertainment if you're on a long flight, you can just get your phone out and it's like having a little mini tablet in your pocket as well. You know, and I think I can understand people being skeptical. I was skeptical, but I think the technology now, they've really nailed it. And this, yeah, that's the one I saw, the Samsung Fold 8. It's insane. I was like, it's the first time in years that I've looked at a new device and gone, that is actually fucking crazy. You know, it was similar mindset to when I first looked at like an Android phone, because that was you know, a massive step forward from what it used to be. And I feel like it is like a big step forward because you've had like candy bar shaped smartphones for fucking years now. So I'm still thinking about it, but it does look really good. And I think they've nailed the technology this year because obviously they release one every year, but this is like a big step forward. Chud spends 12 hours a day at his desk, working hard, ushering us into the golden era of content, but his foldy phone's going to be fine. Oh, very funny. Very funny. But I'm on quite a good Simone contract, so I'll probably, I don't know what I'm going to do. It is a lot of money. That's the only thing that's putting me off as well. It's a lot of fucking money. But obviously you can get it on Klarna. Get it on fucking Klarna. You can get it on what is it? You can get it on credit like you would do with a network, but you keep your own Simone contract and it's cheaper that way. So I don't know what to do. Fold phones, they break in 2 weeks. But the thing is, not to speak too soon, but I think that you're speaking off of old tech, and I think they've really enhanced it this time round. Like the Samsung has got a slightly lower rating, but the Google has got, what is it, IP68 protection. So it's rated for like waterproof and dust, like fine dust. Is apparently it's the way the mechanism works. Dust can't get in there.
Making sure games can build out active communities. Beat Saber has a...
Anyway, yeah, I get the gist. Very Android-like. Oh, I've watched this before.
Samsung's new Passport-style foldable is priced at a whopping $1,900, which coincidentally is about the same price as getting a real passport and buying a round-trip ticket to anywhere you want to go in the world. You could either touch dirt on another continent, or, you know, get the latest and greatest social media scrolling machine ever invented. Decisions. Immediately, I can see why everyone loves this thing. 5.5 inches is really the perfect size. Inside the box, we get a SIM card removal tool and one single USB-C charging cable. It's finally time to see how Samsung's lightest fold ever weathers my jerry-rig everything durability test. Right off the bat, though, we are not off to a great start, since even with its new titanium screen, we get the same laundry list of warnings as the previous 8 generations of folding phones. phones.
Pressing the screen or the front camera lens with a hard or sharp object, such as a pen or fingernail, may cause damage such as scratches and dents. When you fold the phone, make sure there's nothing inside, such as a card, keys, or coins. Well, yeah, it's meant to be durable. It's not meant to be retard proof, is it? Like if you put a key in the phone screen, it's going to cause a problem. I mean, people, I think we had this discussion before, and I said, well, this is just silly, isn't it? He's obviously taking it to an extreme. This isn't a durability test. This is I'm going to smash my phone to bits and be surprised when it gets damaged. The phone isn't dust resistant. Yes, that's the point of difference with the Samsung and the Pixel. The Pixel is dust resistant as well. Also, bear in mind, it's resistant, not proof. So, obviously, you know, if you if you drop your phone in alcohol, it's going to cause you some problems potentially.
Like don't press on the inner screen with your fingernails, don't fold the phone with anything inside, the phone is not dust resistant, don't let it get immersed in salt water, and don't remove the inner protective screen. And lastly, keep it away from implanted medical devices. RIP to whoever's grandma learned that one the hard way. The cool thing about having a wider screen is that now there's even more room to run multiple apps at the same time. Up to 3, actually. A menage a trois for your apps. Menage a twap. Sorry. When the exterior screen is flat on its back, it's about as stable as Bitcoin. And its 10:16 aspect ratio would probably make it Christopher Nolan's favorite smartphone, if he ever used one. Nolan says he would be too addicted to a smartphone if he ever used one, and he's definitely not wrong.
See, stuff like this I'm all for. I think this is fine. Because I think that they call it scratch resistant, and I think testing the, you know, the resistancy of that, because my phone is actually on the floor, which speaks to how much I care about it. Pocket. I mean, unfortunately, I can't really show you the screen, I'm afraid to say. Anyway, well, I guess I can show you that the back of this is kind of like all cracked and stuff, you know? Can you see that? I don't know if you can really see it. But there's loads of like little micro scratches and stuff on the screen. Because even though it's supposed to be, you know, even though it's supposed to be scratch resistant, you put it in your pocket with stuff, it gets fucking scratched, you know? Well, I did have a case for it, but I ended up taking it out, and I'm going to use a screen protector or something. Dude, I don't fucking know, man. I need to take better care of it, really, if I want it to look pristine for a while. Gorilla Glass.
Someone needs to take one for the team and see if getting rid of your smartphone really does bring happiness. Until then, though, the exterior screen is made with Gorilla Glass Ceramic 3 and scratches at a level 6 with deeper grooves at a level 7. Incredibly, the average American checks their phone 200 times a day, and if for even half of those glances you pop open into the center screen, on paper it theoretically would last about a decade, since it's already been tested to 500,000 folds in a laboratory. As long as, of course, the inner screen doesn't come in contact with anything harder than your fingernail.
Well, I mean, yes, that's true. But then obviously it needs to be, it's a flexible screen. It has to be, you know, in order to have a creaseless as possible thing, it's going to be less, you know, hardy, isn't it? Oh, does the nail scratch the screen?
Samsung's flexible folding screens still scratch at a level 2. And spoiler alert, Apple will probably have the same issue with their folding screen when it drops. You can hit that subscribe button to see how right I am here in a few months. Supposedly there is a titanium substrate underneath these pixels, but that doesn't change the fact that the permanent plastic layer on top is still plastic. As you can...
Oh, I see. The inner screen is a protective film that Samsung replaced for $20. Oh, so on top of the actual screen they put a protective film on and you can get it replaced. Because I was going to say, are they going to be able to make screen protectors for this? Because surely, because of the way it works, it's going to be quite challenging. Because screen protectors are normally one piece of plastic, aren't they?
You can see the Fold 8 receives damage through coins, keys, and even grappling hooks. Luckily, Samsung does offer one free inner screen protector replacement within the first 12 months, and subsequent plastic layer replacements only cost $19. so the marks on the inner screen aren't as bad as they look from a financial perspective. But since the phone does cost more than my first car, protection is still always a good thing. My channel sponsor D-Brand says their foolproof prism screen protector is foolproof, and there's 2 in the box for good measure. As you can see, my Fold 8 has some dust on the glass, so I'll use the wet wipe to clean the screen.
Dude, this is great actually, isn't it? This is great, man. So you basically just wreck a phone to bits and then go buy a case for it though. Dude, I don't know much about D-Brand, but some of these cases are fucking shit, man. Some of these cases are absolutely fucking dog shit.
And the applicator positions the layer of glass protection right over the screen,
That's
and
cool.
with one
That's
pull,
good. I
one
like that.
stroke, the glass is installed perfectly. My 2000...
Oh, that's good, man, because it's a fucking hassle getting these things on. So I think that's a positive step forward.
$1 phone just got protection in 2 seconds, and it's real glass. Link is down in the description. Now, even though Samsung used the buzzword titanium...
Okay, we were just talking about this, so I'm thinking about getting a foldable phone. I was skeptical too, but if you get a chance, when you're in your local place next, go to a store and look at the Samsung foldable. Because I was like, I'm just going to get the next Pixel upgrade because I need a new phone. And then I saw the foldable and I was like, I was literally blown away. I was blown away, dude. I was like, fuck. It looks, it's crazy. Like watching a YouTube video on there is like next level.
For the inner flexible screen for no reason. Here on the outside frame, it's most definitely still armor aluminum. The fingerprint scanning power button is not removable, but the metal volume rocker most definitely still is. Pretty typical for Samsung to have the buttons be removable. I'll just pop that back into place. Making our way to the top edge, we can see 2 noise-canceling microphones and the loudspeaker.
Uncle Soy ogling over the latest GOI terminal. You guys are so crazy, man.
As well as our SIM card tray, which does not have expandable memory, but does have a gray rubber ring to assist with the IP48 water resistance rating, which is good to know. We'll test that dust protection here in a second. Down at the bottom, we have our second stereo loudspeaker and 45-watt USB-C 3.2 port. The 10-megapixel front-facing inner screen selfie camera is protected by that same plastic layer as the rest of the inner screen, so careful with that. It is a hole-punch camera and not a hidden camera like it was on the Fold 3, 4, 5, and 6. The exterior selfie camera is also 10 megapixels and not hidden, but it is protected with glass. Making our way to the back, we see our 50-megapixel ultra-wide camera up top and 50-megapixel main camera right below that, sitting on a plastic plateau. Which, correct me if I'm wrong, is a first for Samsung. Usually this plateau is made from metal. The back panel is still made from glass. Coming back up to the camera lenses, seeing plastic on a folding phone is kind of wild. The little ring surrounding the camera...
I mean, you know, some of this is not just durability testing. I mean, when are you going to take a fucking knife to your phone? Do you know what I mean? Like, there's some wear and tear. I guess maybe you could argue trying to replicate what it would be like having it for 4 years. But I don't think anyone's phone looks like this unless it's seriously, you know, fucked.
Camera lenses is still made from metal and is actually pretty easy to leverage off. It for sure won't be falling off on its own, but it is good to know that if you ever crack your camera lens, it's very easy to replace the whole thing. The only thing I would worry about with lens replacements though is if the seal was still tight. Since any dust getting down inside of that camera unit will kill the optical image stabilization and possibly leave artifacts in the camera images. You know how it is. Historically, the outdoors has been a pretty dirty place, and one might say that there is actually a lot of dirt everywhere outside. This year, Samsung says their new Fold 8 hinge is wider, thinner, and flatter, and when combined with that titanium substructure, which we will hopefully see busted open in a second, it makes the screen crease less visible.
Oh my god, it's over! Oh
Dust-wise, though, it seems to keep out the nitty-gritty gunk just as well as last year's, so I'm not too worried about it.
That's good.
I can even see some of the metallic dust collecting on the magnets in the corners. One big improvement that I haven't seen anyone talking about, though, is the fingerprint scanner. This time around, you're not just capacitively taking pictures of your finger. You roll your finger around on the button to get it scanned. And then, even with heavy...
I have never I am very much like, you know, GUI coded when it comes to these phones. I don't really turn anything off and I just kind of use it. Don't think about the fact it tracks you everywhere, right? But I've never input my fingerprint into a phone. I don't know why. It doesn't make that much difference, but I just find it a bit weird. The idea that you're giving it your fingerprint, you know? It's local. Yeah, I know it's illogical. I totally agree it's illogical. I totally agree with you. I agree with you. I'm not saying I'm doing the right thing. I'm telling you because it's stupid. Because I'll not wanting to put my fingerprint in. And yet I'll be totally comfortable with it tracking every facet of my movement down to a fine-tooth comb.
Use on the button itself. It's literally the fastest response time of any fingerprint scanner I've ever seen. Genuinely impressive, so thumbs up for that. The 7.6-inch titanium flex display has 3000 nits of peak brightness and 120 Hz refresh rate. It starts permanently burning after about 7 seconds from my lighter. The titanium doesn't appear to help all that much with heat either.
Oh
so
my god,
it's much cooler on the inside.
No, don't burn your
the
phone.
Exterior 5.5-inch 120 Hz 428 pixel per inch display on the outside lasted a tad longer at about 10 seconds, probably since the glass helps distribute the heat, but then went permanently black and green without recovering. Finally, the bin test. When closed, this passport-style foldable has hardly any flex, not when bent from the front nor the back.
It hurts!
Which means this wallet-sized phone could easily be a back pocket device, and still survive being sat on, as long as the phone is closed anyway. When the phone is open, well, it's just a burden I have to bear. You know, pushing these premium devices to their absolute limits. We've never had a folding Samsung phone fail, except for the trifold, but that was an anomaly. And I think seeing devices that might at first appear fragile come through the other side of my test still in one piece instills a lot of confidence in potential purchasers.
Bend it.
And I hope for this
Bend it the other way
fold's
now.
sake that he, you know,
bring us back
makes
now.
The time has come.
Oh.
Dag nabbit. While there is a substantial amount of rearward flex, the Widen Fold 8 smartphone survives my durability test.
Oh my god, it
no
fucking
cracks
survived.
at the antenna lines like we saw on the Pixel Fold, and no popping out of the screen like we saw on Motorola's folding phone. The glass back panel even pops off the back of the phone body before any damage happens to that soft center screen.
Look at it, it's still going.
I don't know what Thanos-level mithril uru Samsung used to make their phone.
Okay, that is impressive. This is actually making me think, I'm going to wait for the Pixel to come out and actually take a look at it before I decide. But that is quite impressive. Even though I'm never going to do that to my phone, it is like, fucking hell, that's good to know.
Folding phones with, but the new wider Fold 8 is yet another rather impressive survivor. Of course, if you want your new device to be blemish-free and keep the resale value high, might I recommend Dbrand's grip case. With its magnetical hinge protector, every angle of the fold stays completely protected whether it's open or closed.
We should do
and
this
with 40 different
people.
skins to choose from, like this real leather, your premium phone can feel as premium as a leather wallet. Link is down in the description. And of course, I'll have my teardown skin available soon, so stick around for that video. And thanks a ton for watching.
I think less will be lost if we just got a disabled person and kind of got them in some sort of device and we're like, what happens if we bend them backwards for a minute? What happens to their body? Oh. This might be the most goyish stream segment I've ever seen of Chud. I need a new phone. And I'm bored of the same fucking, you know, candy bar style smartphone shit. But I actually quite like, because this one's the Pixel 8 Pro, sorry, the Pixel 7 Pro had the curved glass at the edge, but they stopped doing it because it apparently, and it can be a bit annoying. You can accidentally press buttons and shit like that. But they do it like, the Pixel now is like an iPhone, and I don't really like that style. And plus the fold looks cool. But we'll see. I'll take a look at it and see. But yeah, that's all this guy does, man. That's you know. Oh, look, he does teardowns as well. That's pretty cool. Anyway, guys. Right, let's do a little bit of disabled advocacy content, and then we'll get into the stuff I got lined up today. You never guess what race she is. Wait, what's this? Oh, I did hear something about this.
The obvious thing that 1,200 young men are going to need in the middle of a village like Little Piddington is a brothel. I don't think they're going to provide that. I have a feeling that's not going to be allowed. But the obvious...
She's not suggesting that they set up a brothel. She's saying that the only way to stop rape is to give them easily accessible women, and it's said in a sort of derisive tone, isn't it? I'm pretty sure. I don't think she's saying there should be immigrant brothels set up. And if they aren't getting a brothel, I'll give them the next best thing. My busted beat old minge.
Supposing we don't have a brothel in Piddington, as Edwina suggests, what are you going to do all the time? And that is the question in these small places. Supposing we don't have a brothel in Piddington.
They'll rape the prostitutes. Well, I'll tell you what, if we're going to give them brothels, you know what that means, don't you? We're going to have to increase the weekly allowance that they get. How are they going to be able to afford brothels if they're only getting £7 a day or whatever it is? Oh my God, dude. Is there like more substance to this? Is there actually something that's a bit more substantive than a little clip that I'm clearly being shown to try and, you know, say something wrong? Dude, it's all this 11-second clip, man. Fucking Twitter fucking sucks, dude. Oh, here we go. This is the more substantive. Wait a second. Maybe I can find it on YouTube. No, I genuinely think that it's more of a, you know, oh, you know, they're going to rape. What else can you do? Dude, I can't find it. I can't. Oh, here we go. I've got it.
Let's start with the conversation that we've been having about migrant discussions, with the Prime Minister saying that actually poor communities can't take the brunt of housing all of the migrants, and that actually more affluent areas will have to do their bit, as he's described it. Edwina, I'm going to start with you, if I may. Do you think it's right that affluent areas and rural areas perhaps should take their fair share?
Oh, I see. I get the dynamic here. So she presumably lives in some well-to-do area. Andy Burnham saying we need to stop stuffing them into poor areas. And
Consider that. No. Those pedophiles on 10 Downing Street, instead of dishing out pip, could be giving out state-mandated pussy to British chuds.
Scripted, thank you for the kicks. Good point. Good point. Burnham? Question mark? Burnham? Question mark?
Of migrants and move them out of the city?
I think you mean not migrants, but asylum seekers, which means that they are in the process of being, well, processed in order to judge whether they have the opportunity to stay here or not. And the numbers have been going down, and the use of hotels has been going down, because a hotel is a very obvious place to be, and it can cause absolute mayhem. And of course, you get demonstrations outside. So it's something that governments really don't want to do. But
well, the problem is people like close down the hotels, and obviously they've got to go somewhere, so they get put in local communities. But people are like, no, send them back, and it's like, well, they're never going to get sent back. But I think the hotels are like a flashpoint for, you know, public and local discontent.
Yes, using old unused land that they own, former defence establishments, whether it's going to be for asylum seekers or whether it's going to be for, don't tell anybody, new prisons. Yeah, that's what's going to have to happen. And does it have a deleterious effect on the immediate neighbourhood? Well, it depends who you are, because it does provide work and it does provide opportunities for business. I mean, I'm not sure I'm going to be allowed to say this. You're probably going to shut me up in no time at all. But the obvious thing that 1,200 young men are going to need in the middle of a village like Little Piddington is a brothel. I don't think they're going to provide that. I have a feeling that's not going to be allowed. So, you know, the argument is going to be who stops this? Who's got a veto? And in the end, we should say, look, nobody's got a veto.
Yeah, I don't think she means, oh, you should set up brothels. It's like a kind of derisive, joking sentiment. Because, I mean, obviously, prostitution is illegal in the UK as well. Oh, my God. But they've snipped out 11 seconds and are going, Edwina Curry thinks that Muslims should have brothels to tear through.
I think it's going to happen in the public interest.
Also, the fucking taking the rape out of it removes all the flavour for these people too. Oh, by the way, that's the other thing Mumsy's been banging on about. Is immigrants. Immigrants, this. It's either Israel, the Jews, or immigrants. I've had an earful these past couple of days, man. And Mumsy didn't used to be this extreme. I do think she's been, somewhat influenced by some of the crazy videos that she watches, like fucking Candace Owens and some nutter saying that Charlie Kirk's microphone exploded because of a Mossad op. But yes, banging on about bloody immigrants. Oh my God, dude. It's been fucking relentless the last couple of days. Just endlessly cynical. Everything's the Jews, everything's Israel, everything's immigrants.
Whether it's a prison, whether it's an asylum centre, we're going to have to do it. What we're going to have to do as well at the same time is invest in the whole of the criminal justice system so we can get people processed a lot faster. So they're not hanging about waiting for a year or 2 or 5 or 10 years in order to get their result. And then if they're not allowed to stay, take them home.
Listen, Edwina, I would never, ever dream of shutting you up. I think we're engaged in fascinating conversation here. I would argue whether 1,200 young men, whether any young men need a brothel. I would never put the word need next to that whatsoever. But Edwina, your point is one that Stig and I have been talking about earlier this morning, that actually, is it more about moving through a system quicker as opposed to having these holding places that are disruptive, I suppose, to any community, anywhere that you put them?
But also, Edwina, are you honestly saying that if 1,200 men, young men, were put in a place at the end of your village for a year?
Also, the other problem with this as well, I was obviously joking a bit about the money thing, but how are they going to pay for a brothel? They're not allowed to work. So how's that going to fucking... They have to just get some absolutely mullered crackheads in, to give gummy blowjobs to the migrants to hopefully stem the tide of rape.
Even if it was in the public interest nationally, you cannot tell me that you just be like, fine, it's in the national public interest, I don't care.
It's not a question of I don't care. There has to be an element in government of so what. You can only go on consulting people and allowing neighbours to have vetoes for just so long. And our planning law has...
Chud mum, hello goy, I mean soy, I mean son. Did you see that black rapist who killed 2 women the other day? These people aren't normal. What was his economic status?
Always said that, individuals do not have vetoes. That in the end, it's got to be a question of what's in the public interest. You've got to get a balance and all that. But in the end, what is the purpose? And if we endlessly allow objection...
Well, the thing that's annoying about it, right, is I do like to talk politics beyond what I talk about here. But when you're talking to someone and they're so jaded and cynical and it's just endlessly Israel, Jews, Muslims, Israel, Jews, Muslims, Israel, Jews, Muslims. It's not very interesting because there's things that are that's not really relevant part of the conversation. You talk about sort of tax or something. And then Mumsy's banging on about there's this thing called Israel Aid, which is some sort of Israeli aid thing for migrants. And she's saying, yeah, the Jews give migrants a bunch of money to get over here to invade our lands. And I'm just like, oh my God, dude. Oh my God, everything comes back to that.
To take over, we don't get anything done. Welcome to the United Kingdom in 2026. That's exactly where we're at.
Okay. Listen, Andrew, I'm going to bring you in on this conversation. What do you think? Where's your thoughts about kind of like it and lump it methodology that Edwina's just kind of laid out?
Very, very typical of a politician to say all those things, because we've been lumping it ever since politics began, those of us who aren't politicians. But I'm just thinking of what I would feel like if I lived. I'm very glad I don't, because I get so bored. But if I lived in Piddington, this funny place in Oxfordshire, I get bored in any country place. I'm not being rude about the people of Piddington. Supposing we don't have a brothel in Piddington, as Edwina suggests, what are you going to do all the time? And that is the question in these small places. I have a friend who lives in a small
yes,
village.
I do actually see the point here, right? And this is good. People who just want them sent back are not going to engage with this because they're just going to go, send them back. But if you've got someone that's having their migrant, immigrant, asylum claim assessed, and you put them in a small town, what the fuck are they supposed to do? There's nothing to do there. Some of these places suck. You got like a shop that sells like novelty rock, you know, the candy sweet cane thing, and a bit of fudge, and that's it. That's all that's there. Like, what are you supposed to do? There's nothing to do there. Rape, 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 rape.
A bit like Piddington, outside Munich in Germany, and she was there when Mrs. Merkel brought in, never mind asylum seekers, she brought in 1 million people in one go into Germany, and they had to be housed somewhere, and 200 or 300 of them were housed in this little village in Germany. And of course, the young teenage boys and the young men didn't have anything to do in this funny little place. And so crime started to break out. There were, luckily in this particular village...
Dude, people deny this because they just want to claim they're just brown savages that just want to commit crime. They say the devil makes work for idle thumbs, okay? And I do wonder what... And I'm not saying that, you know, obviously, oh, just go and commit a bunch of crime if you're bored. That's the right thing to do. I mean, it all links into these people being from, you know, war-torn places that are all traumatized to fuck. They're all mentally raped. And then they're not processed fast enough, so they get stuffed into some fucking hotel or some, you know, HMO somewhere now, I guess. You know, the whole system is just kind of overwhelmed and raped currently. And Labour are actually moving forward. You know, it is getting better. But it's just obviously a slow process and a slow progress.
Relatively minor sexual assaults and that sort of thing. And so, I mean, it is perfectly understandable wherever people settle with nothing to do, that crime and antisocial behaviour will happen.
I think your point about having nothing to do is relevant. I think, obviously, according to the law, that if you are waiting to be processed as an asylum seeker, you can't get a job, you can't work full time. You can volunteer, though. I know that's something that lots of asylum seekers in West London, I know, particularly do. There's a charity there that specifically works with them. So there is, I understand the argument that actually if you are housing people in cities, then perhaps there are opportunities for, you know, whether it's hobbies, whether it's community, whether it's volunteering. There is.
I mean, what? Well, I see the point. I guess I'm just what hobbies do you want some fucking asylum seeker to do? But chess club, set up chess club. I don't fucking know, dude. Like, clearly it's a problem to have all these people of uncertain status not contributing, stuffed in some room somewhere. I mean, I don't know, you know, just fucking get the process, I guess. I don't fucking know, man. But it just seems a bit silly to talk about, like, hobbies. Like, what hobbies do you think they're going to be doing?
Something to direct the attention and the focus, I suppose. But
well, exactly, because all the social centres that you might think of in a town, a mosque, a church, a pub, a sports club, a gym, none of that exists in Piddington. They don't even have a pub, I believe.
It's 400 people. It's a very, very small place. But then I suppose the other...
What are the asylum seekers meant to do? They can't all take up needlework or do the Bayeux tapestry of their journey to England or something of that kind. What are they going to do? They are inevitably going to misbehave, as we would think.
And I guess the question, and Paul makes a point, Edwina, on this. If Andy Burnham is coming into power saying localism matters, devolution matters, then actually his whole philosophy is that local communities should have a say in what happens to themselves.
Wait, sorry, I got distracted. I'm sorry. I'm just thinking about what Mumsy's going to say about all this. Sorry, listen.
It's a very, very small place. But then I suppose the other...
What are the asylum seekers meant to do? They can't all take up needlework or do the Bayeux tapestry of their journey to England or something of that kind. What are they going to do? They are inevitably going to misbehave, as we would think.
And I guess the question, and Paul makes a point, Edwina, on this.
I mean, it is, you know... The trouble is like if an English person's bored, right? I mean, the difficulty is they just don't have anything going for them, bro. They're stuck in some hotel getting £7 a day. Well, you know, nothing happening. They're supposed to be for, like, essentials. Work camp. Make work pay. Make them work. I don't fucking know, dude. But yes, I mean, the thing is if you want to get them in certain areas, I mean, you've obviously just got to spread them out, but maybe not put them in places where there's barely anyone there and it's like some shitter local village.
Andy Burnham is coming into power saying localism matters, devolution matters, then actually his whole philosophy is that local communities should have a say in what happens to themselves.
Precisely, very good point.
So is that not true, Edwin? If we believe in devolution, if we believe in saying we want to make a judgment about our own area...
the reason is that the conversation is about spreading them out is that the way it's structured at the moment is they end up getting stuffed into poor areas. I mean, realistically, this is Labour trying to wrangle with the fact that the reason reform has gotten so much support is because of all the problems of migration. These poor communities have been stuffed to the rafters with, you know, people waiting asylum claims and whatnot. And it's created this kind of negative mentality because they go down the local hotel and there's a bunch of brownoids prancing around outside, and it's, yes, there's some level of perception thing there, but there's also real issues and problems that have arisen as a result of this. So I think that their idea is if we spread it out a bit and take the pressure off and make it so that, I mean, realistically, as much as it was, you know, a fuck thing to say, if you put them into green areas, that probably would be a good solution, you know, because they're unlikely to be as bothered by it. Or at least they're not going to say that they're bothered about it because they're not going to want to be seen as racist. Send them all to Brighton. Get them all down to fucking Brighton.
Might mean we're entitled to make a view on whether we have a reservoir, whether we have a prison, whether we have an ex-military base filled with young men who are asylum seekers. Is that not what devolution is actually about?
No, it reminds me of years ago when I was a Birmingham City Councillor and Chair of Housing, and we gave devolution to a number of tower blocks, quite nice tower blocks in good nick, and we created little management committees of the people who lived there, and we let them decide who was going to take the empty flats. And it wasn't long before we discovered that they were actually operating a colour bar and not allowing anybody to come in who had an immigrant background. So we had to take the power back. Be careful what you wish for, because you could just find that whatever local...
You give local power to some community and they're all racist. So no immigrants, no Jews, no blacks, no Irish.
Will simply reinforce the prejudices. I mean, Andrew is quite right about providing services and activities. Presumably, this was also a problem when it was a military base. The sort of complaints that we had against the Americans when they arrived in 1943 and 44. Exactly. About being oversexed and over here.
And all the American babies that we had, many of them, of course, very good looking.
Yeah. But that's not necessarily a bad thing, of course, if it means that there's a spread of pleasure in the local community. But if you're going to do this, if you're going to house 1,200 young men, then you have to include not just housing and toilets and all the rest of it. You have to include activities and sports and the mosque. You have to coordinate a lot.
And they won't do it. And Edwina, this is never going to happen.
I mean, the thing is, does some local village want a mosque getting constructed just for the sake of the Muslims to come and pray? You know, I just don't think that's going to happen, is it? The NIMBYism will be fucking off the charts on things like that. So you're against democracy if it's racist. It seems a bit fascist. Well, I'm not necessarily against it in that, you know, if a group of people have got a certain perspective on something, that should be respected. It's more so just this idea backfires if you put power in the hands of communities that don't have the same political views as you and antagonistic to whatever your goals are, you know?
Because the British people don't want to see lavish facilities given to people who are asylum seekers. That's just a fact that we have to accept. There's no money to do it, even if they wanted to. And actually, the system is designed not to ossify these people into place for 3 years. It should be to get them in, and if they justify being here, to keep them and move them on, or to not let them stay in this country at all. It's an asylum system. It's not come here and stay in a military base for 4 years. It is in practice, but it shouldn't be in philosophy.
Absolutely. I suspect a lot of this kind of service should be provided by the charities and the campaigners who are taking a slightly different viewpoint. But it boils down to not investing in the right kind of activities. We haven't invested in the infrastructure to ensure that we can carry out the policies. Andrew calls me a politician. I'm talking about being decision makers. We're spending a lot of money, but it's not going in the right place. It's going on keeping 5 million of our normal people actually in idleness week after week and month after month, instead of providing the services that we need to run the country properly. And sooner or later, we're going to find out if any government, whatever is the leader, whatever the colour of the government, if they're capable of actually taking some of these decisions.
We're sitting here wondering and kind of passing between us what these people are going to do. But then surely
the thing is, she is a little bit all over the place in some of her perspectives, but I think what she's pointing out is that you want to have this policy of putting these immigrants in well-to-do areas, and they just don't have the infrastructure, and there's nothing for them to do there. You know, the thing is with a town is there's stuff for them to do, but then the people in the towns don't like it. It's basically every person trying to kind of offload their, dissatisfaction with an overburdened asylum system to like, oh, let's put them in the country, let's put them here, let's put them here.
the easier answer is that we actually just change the legislation that we have and allow asylum seekers to work whilst they are being processed through the system.
Yeah, but then they disappear. Then they would simply disappear into the system. Once they've got a job, once they're out, why would they come back to the camp?
Well, the argument that the Tories would make and Reform would make and other right-leaning people would say actually is you say we come to a number of asylum seekers that we are willing to take. We take them from safe routes, which we have to invent, which we haven't done yet. We do not take any who come over the channel. So the 10, 20, 30, 40,000 people who come over the channel, there is no mechanism whatsoever in existence in Britain to welcome them, irrespective of their need or their background, because we want to cut that route off. But again, that's not going to happen in the next 3 years. It may never happen, in which case you have to find a solution that's temporary, which is where we've sort of started on this.
That reminds me, actually. Mumsy was also complaining about the ECHR as well. I was saying that Blair's responsible for the fucking rapes that are currently occurring because we joined this thing and now it's constantly used to... I mean, even Labour now, I think, are struggling with some of the legal challenges this presents because you can't just sack someone off when their asylum claim is denied. They've got like an appeals process you have to follow and all of this sort of shit. Oh, okay. Listen, Anglo Pigeon. I'm not trying to deny your racist mentality, okay? But I've got it saved, but I'll watch it tomorrow. Okay? I'll watch it tomorrow. Because I want to do one more thing and then we'll get into some of this supplementary EDP documentary stuff and JIDION's further rapening that's been happening. But guys, let's do a little bit of disability advocacy, shall we? This story looks fucking nuts, man. It's only a short one. Oh, wait, dude. I didn't even think of it like that, bro. I didn't even think of it like that. I didn't even think of it like that, dude. Look at this fella, bro. He's fucked, man. And it's not even like it's like a bad, like he didn't get injured or something in some sort of industrial accident. He just got this random disease that turned him into a fallout ghoul.
I was 21 years old when I contracted meningococcal septicemia.
Oh.
It's a blood infection that resulted in the amputations of my arms and legs. I didn't look at the mirror for a long time. My nose turned black and fell off.
Oh, dude! That is the worst of all. At least with an accident, you've got some sort of like warning or you know what's going on. Whereas this, you just suddenly your limbs start turning black and fall off. How did he get it? He's not giving homo. He's not giving me much homo energy.
Off, and you lose a lot of confidence. To come so close to death and emerge as a physically different person, it's a significant change.
Oh God,
and I do feel I've...
Wait, what was that you had there?
A physically different person. It's a significant change.
Bro, he's got fucking... Oh my God, dude, that is fucking based. He's got the knife attachment. He's got a little cheeky knife attachment there for eating his sausages. That's handy, isn't it? Very Britain coded, yeah, the butter knife. The butter knife for chopping up the sausages. Self-defense arm. No, honestly, you know, I saw this at first and was a bit freaked out by it. It's actually pretty cool that this is the level that it's at now. How do these work, though? Do they connect to your nerves or something? I don't understand how they work, because surely it's like just a lump of plastic on your flesh. But then you can see he's actually using it and manipulating it. How does he jerk off? Very carefully. Well, that's assuming he's still got his cock. We don't actually know if he's still got his cock. Right. Okay, come on. We did that bit the other day. Come on.
And I do feel I've got a second chance in life. I haven't swum in many years. You're away from your chair. You're a bit out of your comfort zone.
Okay, look, all jokes aside, he is quite adept at sticking on those goggles, isn't he? He's done that before. He's very handy. Well, again, bit of a bad choice of words, but he's very good at getting the stuff on, isn't he?
I haven't swum in many years.
Watch.
You're away from your...
Look at that, man. Look at that, dude. He's slipping that on like no trouble.
Your chair, you're a bit out of your comfort zone. But I'm going to go with one of my mates today, go into the pool. Before I had my incident, I had just moved to Australia to study a degree in...
This guy's name is Ripu. Rip. Huh? What the fuck, dude? What did you say? Rip. Rip you. Rip you. Rip you. Fucking hell, man.
Journalism. I was quite carefree. I played a lot of the guitar. I went out with friends. I was enjoying my life in a new city.
Oh God, man.
Just doing what most 21-year-olds would be doing. The day I first noticed something was wrong, I started feeling quite nauseous and unwell. I was throwing up. I was in an incredible amount of pain. I couldn't stand on my feet. And I was rushed into an emergency room. I was quite frightened, but really unaware what was going on.
Oh, I guess that there's some places in New Zealand where it's in the sticks, in the boonies or whatever you want to call it. So you end up having to get in a plane just to get treated. Oh my God, man, fuck that.
The doctors called me to let me know that my son Ripu was in the hospital, that he was very sick, and they believed he had meningococcal septicemia.
I was put in a coma initially for 3 weeks. When I came out, I basically couldn't...
Bro, no, he's not an incest person. He's not a product of incest. He's had this weird disease. He's not an incest guy. Can we just be clear about that, okay?
Move. I remember looking down at my arms and they were just like these twigs.
Oh, God.
Septic shock is like stepping on a landmine, but in slow motion. And you don't know what's going on until the dust settles, and then you can see what the harm is and what's left. Ripu got to the stage where the arms or the legs decided that they're not going to survive.
I remember my dad rolling back the bandages to show me my hand. It was just this shrunken, shriveled black hand. And essentially, they had just died. And they were just hanging on my body.
God, dude.
I was in hospital for over 250.
So what, is it that the bacteria attacks your flesh? Is it like some sort of flesh-eating kind of dynamic or something? I thought it was a Maori too for a second there. Yeah, it did give a bit of that energy. No, he's just a bog standard Indian.
50 days. I had operations done on my arms and legs. I didn't look at the mirror for a long time. I didn't really process it because my nose turned black and fell off. And you lose a lot of confidence. After about 6 months in hospital, I was taken to a rehab centre. It was really about learning independence because I didn't have much physical strength.
They're having a fucking laugh here with this, aren't they? Yeah, put these on. That's all we got. Sorry, we're out of normal legs. You have to wear these for a bit. Just take a picture. Yeah, look at him with his little silly legs on. And then they get like these full-size legs and they go, oh, you want this? Come and get him. And he kind of stumble over. And they go, oh, no, you can't have him yet. Oh, go on now. Come on, only checking. Oh, hey, look at him go. Look at him go.
I had to make a lot of adjustments to everything. Everything changes. To come so close to death and emerge as a...
Bro, imagine losing a game of pool to this guy,
changes.
man. Holy shit.
To come so close to death.
That would be very disappointing. I've not played pool in ages, so I probably would, to be honest.
Then emerge as a physically different person. It's a significant change, and I do feel I've got a second chance at life. While I was in hospital, I was informed that I received enough credits to receive a graduate certificate in journalism.
Well, text-to-speech now, I guess. Text-to-speech, you're laughing. You don't actually need to type anymore, do you? So as much as I was thinking, hang on a minute, that seems a bit cursed. No! No, you can actually do it text-to-speech now.
And now I've achieved my dream of becoming a journalist.
That's really what he wanted, what he trained for and he studied. And that was a really great sense of pride for us that he achieved what he wanted to do with his own efforts.
Yeah, how proud of them are you?
Beyond measure. I can't even measure how proud I am.
Oh, that's nice.
Hey mate, how you doing?
How's it going? Good.
Well, I'm very good, thanks. Thinking about getting back into swimming.
Do you think you'd beat him in a boxing match? Honestly, I wouldn't risk it. Nah, I probably just wouldn't risk it. Bit too much of a, you know, possibility that you might win. So I'd rather, you know, stick to a child, you know, that's got cancer or something. Probably the best bet, isn't it? Because that's fucking suicide fuel. You lose into that fella.
Want to head down now and go for a swim?
Yeah, mate, let's do it.
Alright, sweet as.
I haven't swum in a very long time, in many years. It was a big part of my initial rehabilitation. They started getting me in the pool. When I first got in there, I just sunk like a rock. My family had been with me swimming before, but my friends never have. It's an environment you're away from your chair, you're a bit out of your comfort zone. But I'm gonna go with one of my mates today, go into the pool. It's something I'm very keen to start doing. Now with a friend, now that I've built up my confidence, it's gonna be a new experience. Feeling pretty good about heading in the pool.
Just disappointed this guy has his life together, wanting to be a disgusting cretin on the edge of suicide. No, I think this is good. I think this is a good lesson. Kind of ties in earlier to what we were talking about. You got some guy moaning about having a boss on Twitter earlier. Meanwhile, this guy's making the magic happen, isn't he? He's going for a little swim. And, you know, he's doing journalism. He's doing his dream.
Yeah, it's pretty exciting, actually. I'm feeling pretty good about it.
Better than me. Whee! Look at go.
It's important to show that even if you have a disability,
is crazy,
that doesn't stop you from being able to achieve incredible things. My attitude towards life today, I would say I have a profound sense of purpose and gratitude. I'm very grateful for my friends and my family and the opportunities I've been given in life.
He's got 4 legs
now. It's amazing being back in the pool. It's good to have friends around you for support. It's really fantastic, and it's great to finally have the confidence to come out here and do this again. It really illustrates the amount of sort of progress, the amount of strength I have now, and
quite good.
how much more confident I am now. The journey that I've been on has had many highs and lows, but the place I'm at now is really a phenomenally positive space. So it's really been a story of progress and improvement, and I can say that I'm in a really good place now, perhaps the best place I've been in a really long time.
Whee! Only downside, he is of Indian descent. Other than that, you're laughing. No, I think that's cool. Fair play to the little guy, exactly. That was good, that was good. I need to find something a bit more, you know, sickening and disgusting for next time. But there we go, guys, there we go. Speaking of sickening and disgusting, can we talk about how disgusting pedos are? Can we just do that for a second? Because I'm so sick of people saying pedos are good. Honestly, it's like that, is it the Norman Rockwell painting? When you stand up and say pedophile's bad. You know, and everyone treats you like you're a fucking villain. Because everyone loves pedos now. What is this? TMZ thing? Okay, I'll maybe look at that at some point. We're getting into the EDP stuff, guys. There's a lot of deleted scenes I didn't know existed. So we're going to watch those. And then we're going to look at a JIDION conversation. Basically, JIDION spoke to Bloodspeth a little while ago about his arrest. And I didn't watch it at the time because I'd kind of covered it enough, I felt. But He did actually get questioned about the EDP stuff then. So it's interesting to see what he said. And there is a fucking wild tweet from his manager too. A wild tweet from his manager. Wild tweet? Yeah. Anyway, is that what you were trying to tell me, PD? Is that what you were trying to tell me? That the manager's full of shit? I didn't feel that's the energy that you were bringing. Maybe I made a mistake. Maybe I made a mistake in the light of the coverage, okay? Oh, it's Discord mod, okay. Well, we'll get to it. We'll get to it. We'll get to it, guys. We'll get to it all. Who'd you got on the old up twerk of? JIDION EDP. Okay. Well, anyway, in his effort to seemingly make EDP seem based, Mike Klum has released a bunch of supplementary deleted scenes from the documentary. And some of these are, well, I don't really know what the fuck the point of them is, really. I can see why these ended up on the cutting room floor. Fuck Mike Klum. I like the documentary. But I think that the one criticism I think for me that really stands out, I saw someone talking about this on Twitter. And I you know, it's a bit like it's designed for a YouTube audience, clearly, right? People that know YouTubers. But it's got this kind of dressing of this broader documentary. But clearly it's meant to be, you know, you're meant to goy clap at the fucking Chris Chan bit at the end. Because a normal person isn't going to know who fucking Chris Chan is.
Sadly, you're raped.
Yo, cheese. Thank you for the gifted sub. Thank you. Appreciate that. So yeah, I think that, you know, there is this element of why, you know, and then all the deleted scenes, I think, are kind of leading to this too, where it's like, okay, why are you, for example, getting into it, why are you showing a bunch of YouTubers a picture of EDP's cock? Like, dude, what the fuck is this about, dude? Have a look at EDP's cock and see what you think of it. Why do we need to know what Moist Critical thinks of EDP's cock? And I guess you can argue it's not in the documentary for a reason. But this is the kind of, you know, there is an element of, and it kind of struck a bit at the end when you had all these people talking about it. And it's like, well, yeah, you're meant to be like, as people have done, oh, it's like the Avengers of you. Yeah, that's the point of it, isn't it? You know? So there is an element of, it's very kind of YouTuber fan coded, you know? But stuff like this is just like, what is the point of this? But let's find out together, because I've not watched this yet.
Yeah, so this is one of those things that absolutely should land a human being in jail, and it looks like he's cum in his hand and is letting it drip down his hand, and sent this to someone he.
What the fuck, dude? Why look at this? Well, the other thing, I assumed that there was some more, because apparently Moist Critical spoke to JIDION, I think, about the EDP stuff, and has obviously made videos about it. But I don't think that he's actually been substantively involved in any of the stuff that's happened. He's just talked about it, you know? Chud is jealous he didn't get invited to get a look at the cock. Well, I mean, what is the dynamic here? Where is this photo from? Is this a photo that he sent to some decoy? And now they're showing it to YouTubers? I mean, this reminds me of a take that I saw where someone was saying pedophiles have got rights. And the person does the classic, like, do they? And the gif is like shooting someone in the head. And so people aren't going to want to hear this take. But, I mean, I don't really think it's like, I don't care if you're fucking knobs. What is the point of this? Showing you know, the pedo's cock to a bunch of YouTubers. Oh, look, here's his cock. And then filming it and it being an edited piece out of the documentary.
He believed to be a 13-year-old girl.
It looks like a misformed Mr. Potato Head.
Sadly, you're raped.
It kind of looks like it has eyes right here.
Thank you.
And then like the potato head body, but it's kind of like shrunk down a little bit.
I would say his penis is definitely very, very small. He's got a grasp with his fist, like.
I mean, yeah, this is like Mutahar talking about EDP's cock. Again, it's not in the documentary. It's on the cutting room floor for a reason. But this is fucking mental, dude. What is the point of this? What were you hoping to achieve here? You know, what was the kind of goal? What was the angle you were hoping to get out of this? And it is just, oh, it's funny. And that's fine. I don't care if it's just funny, but it just seems a bit crazy, no? To have fun. To have fun.
This, and let me tell you, there's not much left at the end over here worth writing home about. He's a small guy.
If I had to describe EDP445's penis, have you ever seen one of those mushroom characters from Super Mario?
Okay.
Like one of those.
Yeah.
Yeah, like with like the mean face.
Honestly, rate me. I agree with this. I think if you want to talk about EDP's cock or anyone's cock, I think you should post a picture of your own cock and then put it side by side with EDP's so we can make our own minds up.
Like you hop on them and you get the token. Not that you would get a token from hopping on EDP's. Oh, okay. Anyway, it looks like a mushroom from the Super Mario series. Yeah, Goombas, I think they're called. Goombas, right?
As far as penises go, it is considerably smaller than I thought it would be. I'm an old man, but I was always told the black men had larger genitals. So I just
Oh, dude. Yeah, obviously that's a fucking myth. That is a literal myth to make black people seem like mythical sex beasts or something. It's not true, dude. It's not fucking true. There's an average dynamic, sure, or whatever, but dude. Obviously, a fat guy like EDP is going to have a tiny cock. That's just the way that physics work or something, you know?
I thought he would have a more impressive penis than that.
I'm not rating another man's Becca. You want me to really rate this guy's dick? What do you want me to rate it?
Low. Very low. I would rate this penis very low out of 10. Extremely low. Very low. 0. It doesn't
See,
even look...
I tell you what. I kind of like the idea of this. If it was, look at how preposterous it is that a bunch of YouTubers are willingly ready to look at a picture of some fucking black pedo's cock. But it's not that, is it? It's just, oh, look at his cock. Hooray, he looks like a mushroom. But there's something amiss here. And the amiss thing isn't the fact that, I mean, if anything, the most understandable part of this is that EDP sent his cock to a minor because he's a fucking pedo. Right? So that to me is like, well, yeah, of course he's going to do that. He's a fucking pedophile. What's more preposterous here is you've got these massive YouTubers that are just looking at some pedo's cock and talking about the cum coming out of the tip of it. That to me is the more crazy aspect of this. But obviously it's not framed or dealt with or looked at like that. Because I think Mike Klum is obviously in with all these big YouTubers and doesn't want to, you know, cause any upsets, so to speak. But is it not preposterous that you've got these big YouTubers that are talking openly on this documentary about his cock?
While I note this junk was cut, it shows lolcow coverage is just normie slop. Now too many midwits talk about lolcows and attempt to a-log.
Very true, Scrimmer, very true. They were the kicks. Thank you.
It's like a penis. It just looks like it's vertical and it's round looking.
Absolutely disgusting. Like the very tip is brown, and then below that is slightly pink, and then it goes back to brown. It's like those fucking those ice cream sandwiches. I'm looking at the smallest pathetic penis ever. And what is on the tip? Is there some kind of fungus? What is going on over here? What is growing on his dick? Do you know?
Yo, I'm about to look at EDP's dick. Okay. Predictions. Smaller side.
What? Okay. I get Keemstar, I get Oompaville, I get somewhat of these other people. Why is this what has this guy got to do with anything? What the fuck has this guy got to do with anything? The only person here that's got any sense is the guy that broke the story that said, I'm not looking at another guy's cock to rate it for your video. He's a streamer. But has he got some sort of involvement in the case or something?
It's zero. It's fucking zero. It's zero. I can't give it anything more than it's fucking worthless. It's literally smaller than his thumb. It's fucking worthless. It's dilapidated. It's fucking sad. It's impudent, and it hasn't grown.
You know, it's not a micro penis, and I've seen quite a few micro penises. I used to go to the gym in Koreatown. There's a lot of micro penises out there, so it's not a micro penis, but.
Dude, the only thing fucking this guy's thinking of is how can he get this black cock into his missus? That's his perspective on this. How can I get it set up so that I can watch as my wife lowers her disgusting snatch down onto this pedo's cock so I can jerk off to it?
But it is rather micro compared to what else is out there.
Yeah, I mean, for a 500-pound man who's dying of dialysis and wants to bang a child, I guess a smaller penis is better.
I've seen worse, but this is easily a 2.
2 out of 10.
2 out of 10, yeah.
I'm trying to remove it from my remove it from my brain now.
Yeah, wasn't it? Surely you say no to this. Surely you say no, and then you know if you're interested, you're gonna have a little cheeky look later. To do it on video is mental. But it's not framed that way. That's a missed opportunity, I think. It's a missed opportunity to really highlight how absurd it is that these people are just like looking at and talking about his cock. You know? I think that would have been a better framing. I think that would have been better. Anyway, then goes on and he shows an extended scene of the shit pic part.
I'm told these are some of EDP's uncensored shit pics as well as some mic exclusives here that EDP sent you.
That's right.
So these are going to be seen for the first time.
Can't be like, don't cock shame this pedo. Well, no, for me, there's an interesting angle of the absurdity of YouTube culture. I mean, this would be completely preposterous to a normal thing, a normal dynamic, right? But in the YouTube culture, this is like part of it, you know, and there's an element there of, I guess there is an element of EDP is so dehumanized that it becomes
If we are
acceptable.
being real, how is this not revenge porn in a way? Just showing off the private dick pics to all and sundry.
Thank you for the kicks, thank you. I mean, it could have been consented to. It could have been that, you know, Mike Clum asked EDP, yo, do you mind if I show you cock to these other guys? I don't know. But also, isn't it already public matter? Because it's probably been put online by some predator catcher, no? Dude, Moist Critical is like, yeah, I get to, shoot, shit, fart, poop, bumhole. Oh my God. I will say, EDP probably does have quite impressive shits. So I can somewhat see the vision of wanting to have a little butchers at it, you know? See what the deal is there. Because if you're consuming that many calories, you're going to be putting out a lot of waste, aren't you?
That is shocking.
I'm feeling slightly nauseous right now. That is so disgusting.
What's
but the
worse,
shit
a
is
shit or his
so...
cock?
It's not even, it's like liquidy.
Lack of fiber. Definitely a lack of fiber.
This is diarrhea-esque and maybe a little blood.
It's like, look almost like...
Dude, Morris is doing it like he's a fucking... He's doing it like he's a connoisseur, bro. It's like he's a fucking shit connoisseur. Which he obviously is because of all his stupid poop jokes. Just sat there like he's sampling a wine, looking at this shit, talking about it. Oh my God, dude.
Chocolate.
It looks like he's picking up dog shit from out back and putting it in the toilet bowl. Like, it doesn't even look like it's human feces.
Look, I'm unhealthy, but if my shit looked like this, I would go to the emergency room, okay? I eat all day, every day, and all I eat is junk food, and my shit isn't
No, I
disgusting.
I agree. The whole angle here, I personally think would have been better as, look at how absurd and preposterous YouTube culture is, but it's not. It's it's very kind of base level, isn't it? You know, it's which is, you know, true of a lot of it. It's just kind of like, oh, look at this YouTuber, look at his shit. You know, it's like, okay, dude. Isn't it kind of interesting that they're willing to do this and it's not considered to be some outrageous act?
What the fuck is this guy eat? Why are they so muddy?
Like, the only context you would send this in to any woman is if her profession was in the medical field and you needed and you were just like, am I okay?
You know, you got to give it to him that he's pretty good at like throwing the toilet.
He's done Mutahar dirty there, though. That's true. He has done Mutahar dirty there. There's a lot of very appropriate jokes one could make. Oh, so I got to praise that. That's good. That part's good. I like that.
Toilet paper to the side of the shit so that you're able to actually see the shit well, which is lets me know that he's like